Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at Tru Heel Heat. Yeah!
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching Tru Heel Heat podcast.
What's up, Tru Heel Heat? Tru Heel Heat.
What's up? Tru Heel Heat.
All hands on me.
Happy Royal Rumble Day. It is Royal Rumble weekend. It is the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast, our first flagship podcast for February, and we got a lot to discuss. Breaking news last night as Brock Lesnar is officially named in the Vince McMahon-Janel Grant lawsuit, this new amended lawsuit that also includes Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, as well as alludes to Triple H. So also, Triple H names himself in the WWE Hall of Fame. Oh, my bad. I mean, he was surprised. He was surprised by his best friend, Shawn Michaels, his arch rival, Undertaker, and his wife, Stephanie McMahon. He was so surprised. He was overcome with emotion because in a Hall of Fame that he gets to choose the participants, he did not choose himself. For all the other things, like the sky is green and grass is blue, all the other lies you want to hear, we're here for the flagship podcast, Tru Heel Heat. Let's hit the intro. Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 314, the beast within the lawsuit, discussing the latest wrestling news, including Brock Lesnar being named in the Vince McMahon-Janel Grant lawsuit, recap of this week in wrestling with WWE Saturday Night's main event last Saturday. You had WWE Raw on Netflix. You had SmackDown last night. We had WWE NXT from Atlanta, Georgia. You also had AEW Dynamite, Collision, ROH TV, TNA IMPACT, plus much more, as well as final predictions for WWE Royal Rumble 2025 tonight in Indianapolis, Indiana. And to talk about all of that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the princess of all the true heels, your tribal queen, Miss Krssi Love.
Tribal queen. You gotta give that to Josh now.
Yeah, Josh has been missing more. Yeah. He's trying to be the tribal prince.
What's up, peeps? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Happy Rumble Day. Yeah, it's if you watch Traitors, you're gonna get some spoilers. Sorry if you don't. Yeah. RIP to Wes. You're a real one, friend, but you've made your own grave, bro. You had to fight for yourself, and you was like, no, I'm gonna fuck all these people. Just tell everyone to fuck you. Fuck off.
I mean, the speech, the departure speech is an all-timer, though.
It is.
Oh my God, it was an all-timer because
I thought Bob
broke it all down.
Was good. No, that one was better. That
one was actually better. Yeah, I'll give Wes the edge on reveal speeches because Bob the Drag Queen that had the dramatics and everything, but Wes had the breakdown so well from every person who's died to me standing in this circle. I don't know who killed them because
I'm a faithful.
Dummies. Fuck all of you.
Fuck all of you. Yeah. And I was like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, this has got to be one of the worst group of traitors and faithfuls that we've ever had. And that's
the traitors shit. Literally, they broke the format on this. This episode might have been the best of the season. Because they literally had the round table, but they knew the Traitors, editors, and producers, they knew we wanted to see the Turek after the round table between Caroline and Danielle, and then Danielle voted for Boston Rob. Oh my God. Like I've been like on the edge of my seat with these round tables the last couple of episodes.
Yes.
But man, I haven't been like this emotionally roller coaster on the vote more than this episode, because when the first 4 out of 5 people put Wes, I'm like, oh,
me man. Too. But then they got Rob. I was like,
then they started getting the Robs. We got Danielle put Rob, Derek put Rob, Tom dumbass Sandoval puts Rob. I was like,
Danielle could have voted for Tom. She could have easily Tom could have been a scapegoat. Like, I don't really know who to vote for, so I'm just gonna put Tom because I don't even know what to say.
But Danielle, the mistake, that wasn't the mistake by Danielle. The mistake by Danielle is thinking that she has to get Caroline out to work with somebody else to get out Rob. When who should be your number 1 or number 2 alliance, Derek, is leading the charge on getting Rob out.
So you should try to get him to be your ally so you can get him to be a traitor with you.
No, he doesn't even need to be a traitor. That's the thing. That's the thing. You don't need someone to be a traitor to get the votes to banish them out. That's the thing that Danielle is overthinking it. Like instead of saying, let me work with Caroline to get out Boston Rob, she's saying, let me work against Caroline to get her out to bring in a traitor.
No one even was looking at Caroline. No one said, Caroline was so underneath the radar. It was like no one suspects the doofy girl to be a traitor. And she could have been easy your ally because she could have been easily to manipulate. And every time they've been in that Keurig, every person that they have eliminated, she was like, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. Yeah. But what happened? They still go and do it. Every person that they have said get rid of, she's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. They got rid of Bob H. I'm like, This
Bob
these
H.
people
I
are
was
dumb.
like, Bob H was a bad murder choice for
Ma-
Rob more than anybody because he's the one that put out the theory about
That
Rob.
like I was like, these guys just they're trying so hard that they're failing.
Yeah.
They're
They're overthinking. It's like they think that it's just like, oh, we gotta think like one step ahead, two steps ahead. When if you just think of the most understandable logical choice and logical reasoning, it's very obvious who is a traitor here. Like they literally two of these traitors have made it blatantly obvious, and then one of those blatantly obvious traitors is throwing the third traitor under the bus. Like literally. The faithful could take out all three traitors over the next 3 weeks, but they are so dumb. They are dumber than this messy crew of traitors. It's astounding.
It's terrible. Like I was like, I don't get what it is that's happening with these traitors. Like I don't know if they've watched past episodes and it's like, let me give them like shock value more than like let me think strategically and let's get the right people out. It's like I hate the whole group. I'm sorry.
The only people that I like at this point is Derek.
Derek, yes.
Dylan, even though he did vote for West, I still like Dylan.
Dylan.
I think like if Dylan listened to Derek more and he works with Derek, they could win as faithfuls.
And what's the girl that can't?
I think that Brittany started finally showing up in this episode, but she's too much of a Rob defender. I literally yelled at my screen when she's freaking confronting Derek about lying to her about leading the charge for Boston Rob. Of course he's gonna lie to you. You're friends with Boston Rob. You don't think Rob is a traitor, even though you're a dumbass and you should know. You're a gamer. You're from Big Brother. How do you not know that Rob is a traitor at this point?
And the people that has been on the show with him should know how he works by now.
No, remember he's taken out pretty much everyone who's from Survivor except for Caroline.
Yes, you're right. I forgot he's from Survivor, not Big Brother. I was like, most of those other damn shows I don't even damn watch. But whatever.
No, I don't. I don't
watch those shows.
I did my research on why Boston Rob is a legend, and I did see about Danielle's past in Big Brother and stuff like that, and Derek. This was like the first time, apparently, from his whole reality show history that Derek was not listened to because he ran season 16 of Big Brother, and everybody he kind of was like the puppet master, and he led everybody to basically the end, and then won in the end of that season. So this was like the first time that he he was telling the truth. He broke it all down.
He broke it down for them.
And then West put the double whammy on it by explaining the whole breakdown of when Bob basically sold his face by calling out the 3 cage boys.
Yep. He did, and I was sitting there watching it. I'm like, just please vote the right way, please. And y'all they're so stupid. And then when he tells them that he's a favorite, they were like, oh no, you idiot.
Like, you fucking idiots. Like, at least I'll give it up for Brittany. At least Brittany, she clapped for the speech. Even though she was a op. She was an op for West. Yeah. And she had the best comeback for anyone to West on the round table when he said, I'm coming after all 5 of you. She says, make it 6.
Whatever, West, will make it 6. Anywho,
oh man,
yeah.
Wes, why are you so frustrating? You? This is like the worst back-to-back weeks for me so far on the Traitors. The two people that I knew the most from this season eliminated back-to-back weeks.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm rooting for either if the Traitor's gonna win, it needs to be Caroline.
It needs to be Caroline. Yes.
And if the Faithful are gonna win, it needs to be Derek and Dylan.
Yes. Fuck Dylan. Derek.
I'm good. I'm good with Dylan. Dylan popped me in this episode when he said, "I'm really good at rock paper scissors. I won a tournament with like 5 people." I was like, "You Efron boys, you F." That was so Zach. You can see Zach Efron saying some shit like
Oh no, I forgot. And then they still don't even know who the fucking who has shills.
Mm-hmm. True. True. That's what's gonna make it interesting, and that's what's the best thing for Derek right now.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Rob, I'm going into the Derek and I'm pushing Derek as the number one guy to get eliminated. But if he's smart, he's gonna push for him. But the bright side for Derek is that he was in the group of the only group that didn't have a traitor.
Yep.
So unless Chriselle is a bigger idiot than what she's already put out there, that she's the biggest idiot on this freaking show. Yes, I think Chriselle is even a bigger idiot than Tom Sandoval. At least Tom Sandoval, he's entertaining with his stupidity. Like Chriselle is not entertaining at all. Firstly, and she's definitely not entertaining being a fucking idiot and a fucking puppet for Boston Rob.
I don't even know how Chriselle has made it through her career this long.
Me either.
Because she used to be on the soap operas, and she wasn't that. I mean, she was okay, but she wasn't good. Then she moved out of that and went to selling homes. I don't know how she did that, but whatever. And now she's here.
People tend to do well with those side ventures, those side quests.
Supposedly.
But yes, that's our Traitors portion of the show. We'll save the rest for when we do our season recap. But welcome, y'all. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You can drop the thumbs up.
You don't watch the Housewives, so I can't talk to you about the Housewives yet. I got to let Belle get in the chat.
I just other than Traitors right now, I'm watching the Challenge All Stars 5. Rivals, which is good stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm watching 90 Day Fiance, all the different versions with the misses. We always watch that. That's our ritual.
I always catch like the reruns on those, so they're just such great TV.
Yeah. You know who's really into like reruns of reality shows? My mom. She's been catching up on Catfish through the reruns because they do like rerun blocks of like 6-7 hours of Catfish.
Yes, like on a Saturday or a Sunday, like of all.
No, like random days. I'd be going to my mom's on like a Wednesday in like the afternoon. They be doing blocks.
Really? Okay, I thought it was just like the weekends. Okay.
No. They do those blocks all the time. So yeah, I'll be catching my mom watching some of that stuff. So
okay.
Catfish. But yes, let us know if you've been
shows.
Yes, let us know if you're watching any trash reality shows of any kind right now in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you and hear your thoughts on this week in wrestling. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel and the flagship podcast, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We got already in the chat with us today, we got Eric Isaac, who says, hey THH fam, happy Royal Rumble day. Just another crazy ass week in wrestling with some ups and downs.
Can't wait to hear the news.
Some ups and downs, and then Krssy's just like, that word me. I was like, what's going on here?
No, I don't know what's happening. So I'm like, okay, what's happening? Okay, like.
We also got I Make Beats in the chat who says, Rumble Day, baby. Fatu. Better than ooh, so. We got Davion who says, good morning, everybody. Excuse me. We got G Loke who says, what it do at Tru Heel Heat? Let's get it cracking. Smash up that like and let's rumble. We also got
throwing Jimmy down our throats, but instead of, because Jay is so over, but whatever.
Why you say that? Why you picking on Jimmy? Just because he's wrestling?
No, that's not what I said. I just said I feel like they're forcing him down our throats, like they're giving him kind of like he's now talking to the cameras more. He gets his own little personal, even though his song sucks, but whatever.
I like his song.
Okay.
I do. I like it. It's a catchy tune. I listen to it when I'm out.
I think they're trying to make both brothers be over on both separate brands, and I don't think it's working. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. I think that they're not forcing it. They're not forcing it. They're doing like one segment with them. Like if he's all over the show, if he's on the show as often as Jey Uso is on Raw, then you have a point.
Okay,
Like,
that's fair.
But he hasn't reached that level yet. Even Jey Uso, even on like this recent episode of Monday Night Raw, all he did was an entrance and a 2-minute promo.
Yes, and he did it with quick. He they make sure that he gets entrances with rappers.
Yes. Yeah, Samoan is the new black community. We don't, the Triple H is like, we don't got any Negroes to walk with Quavo, so just send them out there with Jey Uso, and they say I can't see color.
Blame the DEI stuff.
It's all because of the DEI. We want to, of course, send our thoughts, prayers, and
oh my God, yes,
affected in Philadelphia as well as Washington DC with the plane crashes over this last week. Some scary stuff going on. So please be safe out there, everyone. That's watching or listening to this. We definitely want to show our support to everyone out there. Also, we got in the chat, yes, Eric Isaac is the start of Black History
happy
Month.
Black History Month. They trying to take that away from us, but we're not gonna let them.
I can't believe this nigga. This nigga. And there was actual Trump supporter who was like, he's not racist. What are y'all talking about? That's crazy.
No, they actually really think that he's really inclusive and he's really trying to fight for all of us. Okay. It's only week 3?
Brandon Brown says that man got Sable at home. Why would you cheat on her? To be fair, Brandon
Sable
Brown,
don't look like Sable how she used to be.
No, not that fair. I'm not gonna assault a woman's looks now. No, you're going too far there to me. But I would just say there's no confirmation that he cheated. He was offered to cheat.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. It was an incentive to cheat. We got Chuck Berry's in the chat. Good to see you, Chuck Berry's. He says, good morning, THH fam. Looking forward to all of the surprises or lack thereof in this year's Royal Rumble event. Prayers to those affected. I mean, to be fair, last year's Royal Rumble definitely lacked in the surprises department.
Yes, it did. For sure.
So I can understand why he's like, just hedging my bets here. Just gonna say lack thereof. That's well. Dwan Mike says, Miss Grant dropped a well-timed bomb. Yes, literally a year after this all went down, because it was a year ago that we had the infamous Triple H I didn't read the lawsuit press conference and stuff like that. Literally he dropped the bomb a year later, right around Royal Rumble.
Because that was at the press conference where he said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got Dwayne Mack who says, I watch Survivor and Big Brother. Both are good, though Big Brother can be kind of rigged at times. I have noticed.
I can see that.
We also got Twan Mack. He says, I hated Derek. Played a great game, but very boring. I can also see that as well. You can also see that. We also got here in the chat Andy, who's making a wild prediction, not one but the other one. My prediction for the Royal Rumble 2025 win is John Cena and Raquel Rodriguez.
Now, Andy, okay, friend, John Cena maybe, Raquel, nah, son, keep it pushing. I'll bet you $50 on that bitch, and I want my money ASAP.
Why she gotta be a bitch? Why she gotta be a bitch?
I mean, not meaning like directly. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Okay, go to the next one. Okay, sorry. My bad.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just, why she gonna be a bitch? My giant finisher says, I agree with
It's Krssi like saying nigga, it's kind of figure of speech. You know what I'm saying? Just like bitches and hoes. That's kind of like, sorry. My bad.
Powerjar Finisher says it might work, but I agree with Krssi. I ain't buying it. We also got Powerjar Finisher says have Jimmy with Drake and Jay with Kendrick. That'll be a story. There you go.
We at WrestleMania?
There you go. I'm with it. Jimmy and Drake versus Jay and Kendrick. Bucket. WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania 41.
You ain't got much
And then
going right now, so
we got our super chat donation. Thank you so much. Chilling with Chase, dropping us a big one. Chase is preparing because he's gonna hit a big bet on tonight's Royal Rumble event. So he's showing some love to us here. We appreciate that. Chase, he says 29. Why, you may ask? 29 for 29 other men will try their best to win tonight, but there is only one. The one that we all acknowledge, the OTC, will win tonight's Royal Rumble. It's been 10 years. Tonight makes 10 years since the OTC won his first Royal Rumble matchup. Yes, it was one of the worst Royal Rumble matches of all time. Yes, it is viewed as the catalyst for nearly 5 years of the fans rejecting Roman Reigns. Yes, it's viewed as all of that, but it has been 10 years since he won. 10 years to the day he's gonna win. He's gonna win tonight. That's what Chase says. That's what Chase's prediction. Thank you, Chase, for the $29 super chat donation, celebrating us, starting us a Royal Rumble weekend off the right way. We appreciate that, Chase. But we got to get into things. Before we do that, we got to shout out all of you who's showing us love across social media and on our Patreon page with our Tru Heel roll call, our top 3 conversation starters over on our Tru Heels group page on Facebook, the Tru Heel Trinity. We got Jermaine Packman, you got Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting, and Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers, you got Vala B, you got Alan Weinstein, you got Negro Bucknick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, John, aka WrestleScopes, Dan, Kobe, Dolores, John Martin, DJ Eric, Marcus, James, Alan, and Santo. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. My way too late, but still on time, TNA Genesis review will be dropping on Patreon after we're done with this flagship podcast. So go over there and check it out. Best way to support us when we are not live here. But let's get into, Miss Krssi Love, what we missed. And we're going to start with the show that we did predictions on last week, which was WWE Saturday Night's main event from San Antonio, Texas. The show did 1.494 million viewers. Slightly down for the first iteration in December, but still a strong number. The show featured Gunther defeating Jey Uso in a great main event to win the World Heavyweight Championship. This one was a physical affair. Jey Uso had those San Antonio fans believing that he could possibly become the World Heavyweight Champion, yet Gunther got the win with 3 power bombs. You also had Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens signed the contract for their undisputed WWE Championship ladder match at the Royal Rumble. The segment ended with KO attacking both Cody and then Shawn Michaels until Rhodes made the save and HBK hit the super kick on KO. To open the show, you had Rhea Ripley beat Nia Jax in a surprisingly good opener to the show to retain the WWE Women's World Championship. In other title action, you had Braun Breaker retain the Intercontinental Championship against the Celtic Warrior Sheamus in another very good bout between these two men. And then finally, probably the most notable note from WWE Saturday Night's main event last Saturday was Jacob Fatu, who had arguably the biggest breakout moment yet of his WWE career, as he was disqualified for no fucking reason in his match against Braun Strowman after multiple hip attacks and pushing the ref out of the way. Post-match, Fatu destroyed Braun with 3 double jump moonsaults, making Braun bleed, leaving him in a heap of destruction, and the fans cheering on Jacob Fatu throughout. What a moment for him. Really, just like,
we
honestly,
like the anti-heroes. Like, I'm just saying, we love a good heel. We don't always want the good guys to win. We like the good heel because they're cool.
So you know, I gave you my Royal Rumble booking last week. I told you what's going to happen at tonight's Royal Rumble, and I think I'm still, when we do our final predictions, I'm still sticking with my prediction, even though I know there's no shot that's going to happen because I predict. I will say I've added to that booking because I think that we're all we think that there's a good chance we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania, right? Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And a lot of people would say, oh, that's predictable. Cody Rhodes gets to win. What if it's not? And what if John Cena defeats Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship? And then the next night, Raw after WrestleMania, John Cena, 17-time WWE champion, the greatest world champion in WWE history, loses in 3 minutes to Jacob Fatu to crown him the new WWE champion. That's my booking I'm going with. I'm going with Cena winning just so Jacob Fatu can wash him even faster than Brock did back at SummerSlam 2014. I want him to wash him like James Ellsworth. Like he was facing James Ellsworth was against Braun Strowman. He needs to wash through him, make Jacob Fatu the man, the top heel in WWE. And the reason why you do it where you have Jacob Fatu beat John Cena and not Jacob Fatu beat Cody Rhodes is because Cody's going to be here. Don't do that. Don't have Jacob Fatu wash Cody Rhodes, because how does Cody Rhodes? I know you could do the story of, oh, Cody got washed and now he has to rebuild himself. I'm sorry, we did that way better like 5 years ago with Brody King back in AEW. So let's not do that here. Let's have John Cena be the guy, because he already has the whole story that he's washed, that he hasn't won in 4 years. And of course, the road to WrestleMania is going to be about his chase to 17. And I think that chase to 17 is going to be one of the big draws of WrestleMania 41. And I think that the fans there will be probably a slight percentage, 55% to 45% per se, that want to see John Cena beat Cody Rhodes to get that number 17. But in having him get that achievement, that's just one thing. That's just a moment. What really would make it mean something is if you use that, make him the greatest champion of all time to make the next guy. And that's why Jacob Fatu makes a world of sense to me.
That's really what's the word I'm looking for? Bold.
I'm all about the boldness. You know me. That's my
I know.
I'm bold.
And 9 out of 10 chances, sometimes you're most of the time all right. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd be like, oh my God. Like I think it happened last year with what was something I was like, fuck, Sid got it the whole thing right. I'm like, oh my fucking God, like he got it all right. So I mean, listen, you might get it. Who knows?
Hey, but what did you think about Jacob Fatu at Saturday night's main event? Do you think he's ready to be WWE's next guy?
I thought he was really good. I think that they gave him the DQ because they don't want him to lose yet.
But he lost. He got disqualified. He lost. Like if the whole point of this is for him to not lose, then don't have him lose. Like that. They shot themselves in the foot. Like it was like it could have been 100%. Could have got 100 on this test as far as making Jacob Fatu look like the next guy. But they got like a 90 because they just made the stupid decision to have him lose.
Right. What was the point of having Strowman win? Strowman is Strowman. Like Strowman is always going to be the like. And
it's 2025. It's not 2017. Let's stop.
I know.
Braun Strowman.
Like I'm over it.
It did not make any sense. Like that shit. Legitimately, I ranted on the Fightful post show about this shit. I was like, this shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, because I was like, Jacob Fatu was like one of your hottest, newest people there, and you go and you make him get a DQ, and then he goes and beats the shit out of him after the whole match. Like. What is that supposed to prove? That now we're gonna get another part of them being together again? Nobody want to see that shit again. It's over. I'm over it.
Oh, we got nefarious Nate Milton in the chat who says, "Morning, family. They hit Fatu with that DEI DQ."
You know what, Nate?
That popped me. I'm sorry. That popped me.
Because now everything is a fucking DEI stuff. So now everyone is gonna just run with that shit. You know that, right? Because that's the fucking world we're living in right now. And the company that they work for is like huge friends of his. So it's like it makes fucking sense.
Yeah. We can only push you this far. You are a DEI. We got Chilling with Jace, who says, I got Charlotte Flair at plus 445 when the books first opened. LOL. Now she's a negative 325, which means she's a heavy favorite for tonight's Women's Royal Rumble.
Interesting.
We also got Andy. I guess he's talking about Saturday night's main event. He said it was a 7.9 show. I firmly disagree. I gave it a 6.5.
It was a regular house show, just on TV.
House shows have more matches. It was WWE Battle of the Belts.
Okay.
WWE Rampage.
WWE Rampage.
WWE Thunder.
I like Thunder better.
WWE Explosion.
No. Wasn't an explosion, no. Holy,
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, but it was like WWE Battle of the Belts. WWE, a special edition of Rampage.
It's a Rampage, yeah. Give it a special Rampage show.
Yeah, special Rampage. That's the level that we got for Saturday night's main event last week. So I gave it 6.5. It was there. If you missed it, you didn't miss much. Just watch the Fatu post match. That's it.
Yeah, I watched the recaps. Mm-hmm. My son told me what happened.
Like the only match worth watching is probably the main event. That's about it. But let us know in the chat what you thought about Saturday night's main event. We also got Power Driver Finisher who says Bronson versus Fatu when?
When Bronson gets better, friend. Hello.
Yeah. I think that Jacob Fatu would be the babyface in that matchup.
Yes, for sure. Because he's over right now. Like, hello.
Yeah. He's over like Rover, and like he's just so good. And the key that to him, and I literally put like this as a response to our good friend Stephanie Hypes, who put out a tweet this morning about Jacob Fatu, and she was like, basically praising him because he's like really come into his own like completely over the last month or so since the Raw after Netflix, since Solo Sikoa took that loss. But she just was like waxing lyrically, as our good friend Alex McCarthy would say about Jacob Fatu. She said Jacob Fatu has the monster of a Braun, the athleticism of a Keith Lee, the mic skills like a CM Punk, the charisma like a Roman Reigns, and he's so unpredictable your eyes stay glued to what he's doing. A star. The only issue that I had with this statement, I agreed with most of it, except for the mic skills like CM Punk. I was like,
he does not have mic skills.
I was like, that's not even close. But the best comparison that I came up with to fix her post, and I commented this, I was like, he has mic skills like Eddie Kingston, where he has that realism, that believability. Like, I really think he can get arrested. Like, I really think he's been in jail. I really think that he is a savage, that you don't know what he's about to do, that he's unhinged, that believability, that realism, that just connecting with the person who's watching. Jacob Fatu has what Eddie Kingston has more than any other person that I could compare his mic skills to. Yada that mean? Yada that mean?
He did. I like the comparison of the oh my god, who keep opening the damn door? I'm trying to mute and they keep going off. Anywho, no, I like the comparison because I was like CM Punk. I was like, nah, like he's way like CM Punk has his good and his bad days. Like some days he's good and some days he's bad. Like no, he's like that's a better one. Eddie Kingston. I like it. I like that comparison.
Oh yeah, and I Senior Nerd. I know he's been in jail, but like even if it was just a part of his character, I would believe it.
Why you gotta be bringing up old stuff?
Like, yada I mean. Yada I mean. Yeah, I was like, who says that? Who says that? I'm ready. I'm ready to see that. I'm ready to see.
I wonder what number he's gonna. Yeah, I wonder what number.
I think he's going to be the most eliminations in this year's Rumble. So I think like probably middle of the pack.
Okay, I can dig it.
We got some big news though this week because we talked about Saturday night's main event. I was going to talk about WWE Raw on Netflix right after this, kind of combine the two big shows from WWE this week. But we had some big news drop last night as Janelle Grant's legal team has filed an amended complaint in her sexual assault and abuse lawsuit against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and the WWE. As you surely know, Grant sued the defendants in January of 2024, alleging sex trafficking and sexual assault and more. That lawsuit led to McMahon's final ouster from WWE. Grant's team issued a press release announcing that a motion was filed to amend the legal complaint, which includes screenshots of new text messages and more supporting her allegations against McMahon. A press release from Grant's team on the amended complaint is right here. Summarize a number of new information as alleged by Grant. It says that attorneys for Janelle Grant, former WWE employees and sexual assault survivor, provide new evidence that Vince McMahon treated Miss Grant as a commodity to sexually abuse and offer to other men. So, of course, with this whole lawsuit, want to put the disclaimer right ahead of time. We are going to be talking about these type of things. So if you can't stomach it, you could pause, press live in like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes once I'm done going through everything, and then we'll have more of a discussion that doesn't have to include all the details and everything included. And of course, I'll put in the description if you need to like talk to anyone. I have a number here where you can discuss for any abuse victims. The amended complaint also provides new details and evidence about how Miss Grant's employment at the WWE was window dressing for coercion and sexual abuse at the hands of McMahon. It says that today attorneys for Janelle Grant filed a motion to amend the complaint in her ongoing case against former WWE CEO Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis and WWE to provide new evidence that McMahon treated Miss Grant as a commodity to sexually abuse and offer to other men. The proposed amended complaint, which is attached to her motion, includes never before seen texts and voice messages from McMahon, provides new details about how McMahon coerced Miss Grant into sexual acts and through her employment at WWE. It says, and I quote, Miss Grant's amended complaint reveals new details that further discriminate the sexual abuse she suffered at the hands of Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, and pulls back the curtain on the dangerous workplace culture McMahon created at WWE, said Ann Callis, excuse me. Miss Grant looks forward to holding her abusers accountable in a court of law. The amended complaint provides new evidence about the sexual abuse carried out by McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE, including McMahon offered Miss Grant to WWE superstar Brock Lesnar for a sexual encounter during his formal negotiations of a new contract with WWE. And McMahon ordered Miss Grant to send Lesnar sexually explicit content of herself. So this is the first time officially Brock Lesnar has been named in the lawsuit. Previously, he was WWE superstar who was in negotiations. Now he's been officially named. McMahon sent a text message to Miss Grant where he fantasized in graphic detail about watching as a group of men that are surrounding her and leaving her physically wrecked. underscoring how he viewed her as a commodity to offer to others. A text message from McMahon to Miss Grant, where he makes clear that only McMahon has the power to arrange Miss Grant's sexual encounters. An occasion where McMahon video recorded Miss Grant while nude for laryngitis without Miss Grant's knowledge or consent. Details about the sham investigation WWE proclaimed to conduct in 2022 after it became public that McMahon signed NDAs with multiple women in which investigators refused to interview Miss Grant. The transcript of a voice message from McMahon to Miss Grant, where he attempts to coerce her into signing an NDA, quote unquote, really fucking fast, so he doesn't get, quote unquote, kicked out of his own fucking company. The initial complaint filed in January 2024 includes a text message from McMahon to Miss Grant, where McMahon admits, "I'm the only one who owns you and controls who I want to fuck you." A statement from McMahon's attorney, Jessica Rosenberg, has been sent to 411 Mania, and that read, "As expected, the proposed amended complaint is nothing more than the latest publicity stunt in an ongoing smear campaign. It is filled with desperate falsehoods from a team that continues to disregard the law and the truth." So like I said before at the top, if you know someone who is being abused, or if you yourself are a victim of any sexual assault, help is available. You can call 1-800-656-4673 to be connected to the National Sexual Assault Hotline. So for anyone who, going through that, definitely don't want to, you want to have some help, want to have someone to talk to. So definitely wanted to put that out there, and I'll put that number in the description to this video as well. But man, you got that.
That's
all
some
detailed.
like crazy shit.
Nick Khan and
nasty.
Stephanie McMahon and Mark Shapiro have all been named in the lawsuit. They don't officially now, with this amended complaint, they don't go into any detail if any of them have done any abusive or sexual acts to Janelle Grant, but they did specify that they enabled the culture that this man created in WWE, which made it possible for this to occur. So it ceased to amaze me that a company can have this big of a lawsuit with these allegations and still people put a blind eye and support them blindly.
But we when the allegations from last year, we was like, they're gonna get named, they're gonna know, they know something. And now look, we said this last year around this same time. Maybe a little later, but yeah, we said when these allegations came out, it's like, oh, I didn't think there, but whatever.
I don't know.
Great.
It's crazy to me with the whole amended complaint that Brock Lesnar can be officially named in the lawsuit, yet there's still fans out there that want Brock Lesnar to come back to WWE.
I mean,
and the fact that the company, like, I think you put this in the notes, and we're going to talk about it more in detail, but Triple H is kind of alluded to in the lawsuit. He's not as blatantly named as Stephanie McMahon,
but
Nick
he knows,
Khan,
he's got to know, he probably didn't do anything, but he know what happened. And he's like, he looked the other way.
His office is in that connection with Vince.
That's what I'm saying.
And John Laurinaitis. You're telling me he was just totally unaware and stuff, so we can still push him as the face of the company. I'm sorry. If I'm TKO, if I'm Ori Emanuel, I don't want any of these niggas in here. I am burning this shit at the ground. And I'm like, even though he was a part of the company at the time, but like head of creative, I would just put Paul Heyman as head of creative.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman at head of creative. Because with Vince, with Triple H, he was just too connected to all of that. Like, they can try to wash over and try to make this kind of clean bill of health and reputation for Triple H all they want. There's still going to be questions about him being in this position because he was previously a part of management.
Yep.
It's just like, how do we go here? How do we go? We got a couple of comments we got here. We got in the chat. We got Davion Washington, who says it's time to clean that damn company up. Couldn't agree more. We also got in the chat here Kid Cutty, who says, I'm ready for this lawsuit to go ahead and get settled. So you don't want basically justice for the victim? I mean, that's the thing that we should want. We shouldn't just want the lawsuit to go away and get settled. We should want justice to be served, because this is some really big and serious allegations that should have consequences, regardless of how much you love WWE or not, you know? Just to me. That's just my point of view. We got Power Driver Finisher. He says they know what's up. You just can't prove anything by assuming. Yes, this is true.
Yes, absolutely can't assume, but people will.
No, people will assume, definitely, with this whole situation. It's just, man, Vince McMahon. I know Vince McMahon's not going to go to jail. I think that we've kind of come to this realization that Vince is not going to go to jail. He'll probably be pardoned, even if he is kind of found guilty. Donald Trump is one of his good friends. Like, he'll find a way to pardon him. So his wife
works very close with the president. There's no way. He'll probably have to pay some money, but he ain't going to jail.
Yeah, it's just like honestly, I want them to break the bank. I want this to be the highest amount of money to settle a fucking whatever. So yeah, I honestly, I rather that. Kid Cudi says, I want Vince locked up, SP3. Okay, as long as it's that. As long as we can, if we can see each other on this way, you don't have to see me on any other part of this lawsuit. As long as we can agree on that, Kid Cudi, we on the same page. We got Seeger Nerd, who says, is Triple H Paul Levesque name in the lawsuit? If so, he can't do the Hall of Fame ceremony. No, Josh, it's not named in the same fashion as Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan and Mark Shapiro. It's kind of just alluded to and name him as a person of management, not even in the same type of like way that they name Nick Khan and Stephanie. It's not along with them. No. I actually had to read the lawsuit and double check, because I had originally in here that Triple H was also named in the lawsuit, but that's the reason why you're not going to see a lot of wrestling YouTube channels like ourselves put that Triple H is named in the lawsuit, because he's not named in the same fashion as Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon. He's named in regards to where his office is, where he was as far as what his position was, but not in being an enabler for Vince McMahon's basically culture that he created. He is not named in the same fashion as Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon. Want to make that clear. But but he is named as far as where his office was in close vicinity to what was going on, and where he was in management. As far as that, it is close. They just have to find a way, basically the defense, to prove that he is an enabler. They haven't proved that yet. That's why he's not named in the lawsuit in the same regard as Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon. Just wanted to make that clear, because I see there's some confusion in the chat. But
oh God, I can't.
What do you think is next with this whole lawsuit? And do you think that we will come to some type of verdict, some type of anything, some type of solution, settlement, or going to trial before the end of 2025?
I don't think we'll go to trial. I think we're going to have them come have a little mediation, see where they're going to try to talk and see how they can meet her halfway. they're not going to throw that man in jail, unfortunately. I'm just sorry. I'm just being honest and real. This is something that they're going to try to sweep underneath the rug as swiftly as possible. And they are going to, they want this to go away. I don't see a trial happening. I see a big settlement. I see a pardon some kind of way. And the pardon is only if we decide to go. Now, if they give them a deal and say, hey, let's do this deal real quick. Because a lot of people are not taking their deals and they go into trial and then they see what happens. A$AP Rocky.
They don't end up fucked up when they go to trial.
A$AP Rocky could have did 6 months, son. Karen Huger could have did a couple of weeks in the slammer and went to rehab. Nope, didn't do that. These niggas want to go to trial. Now they make you look even more guilty.
Yeah. If you're guilty, you should not go to trial.
You should not go to trial.
That's my advice. My life advice for these people that are guilty.
And you got actual eyewitnesses and people that got footage on you. Bro, you are guilty. Take the fucking plea because they're going to be much lighter. Oh, you can work something with the DA and be like, listen, all right. We know we done fucked up. Like, listen, all right. We'll have you need the best of the best lawyers, like, because if they're not, they're failing you. Terrible.
Yeah, you got to get if I'm Brock Lesnar, I'm talking to Vince McMahon, being like, yo, can I get your lawyer, or can your lawyer recommend me somebody?
Wait, give me the hello.
Because I think Ann Callis can't represent Brock. It's kind of like my cousin Vinny.
Yes.
That's what I explain. I explain a lot of like law and politics stuff through movies. That's how I understand law. Is that someone can't represent?
They work together.
Can't represent them both.
It's a conflict of interest, so they can't. She can refer someone like it can't even be like from her own like practice. It has to be someone that she might know because it's a conflict of interest because she still knows about and try to work around it. So she can refer him to someone that she probably knows, but they don't work at the same law firm. No, can't be the same team.
Okay. See, so can't get Ann Callis, so you can't get the Vince McMahon quality, but you got to get the next best thing. You got to get like Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran ain't alive anymore, but
he's not alive, but his firm still is open.
There you go. Go to his firm. Go to his firm. That's what I would tell.
You need the OJ people. You need all them people that work for you.
You need the OJ people. He who's Diddy's lawyer ain't doing that well. But yeah,
not at all. Even though they're trying to say with that story, they're trying to he's supposed to go to trial, I think, in May. I don't know, man, because they trying to get it. They all saying like these parties were consent. No one was like forced to come to these parties. Everyone came on their own accord. So they're trying to say like, listen, he was just having a party and these people just wanted to partake and have a great time. True.
He was just an innocent party promoter.
Correct. There you go. SPCU.
Oh, I guess I can speak. I'm well versed in bullshit.
So they're trying to make this be bullshit, and they're trying to say, listen, let's make this go away. He's been sitting in jail for this time. Like he's learned he's not gonna have, because if he gets out, he's not having no more. He's gonna have parties, but not like the parties that he was having before. And if he does have these type of parties, they're gonna be like to the T, like he just having maybe like 5 or 10 people over, and that is it.
Yep, he's like, you gotta sign an NDA to come to this party.
But the NDAs be expiring. That's the problem right there. I've never knew again. Once only after COVID opened a lot of eyes to niggas. This shit wasn't happening pre-COVID. Tell me I'm lying, SP.
It's true. Since
when an NDA expires?
I never heard of that.
Me neither. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Anywho, we're going off topic, but yes, there you go.
But yes, thoughts and prayers to Janelle Grant,
I hope
anyone
Janelle
else
gets
affected.
whatever she needs to like heal. and give her everything that she wants. I'm sorry she had to go through those things. She deserves whatever she's asking for. Give it to her.
Agreed there. So we shall keep y'all updated, keep y'all posted on the latest from this Janelle Grant lawsuit and what's the next steps following this amended complaint and what is WWE's reaction, which I'm sure that will be a news item over Royal Rumble weekend. And if that's a chatter in the locker room in regards to that, like it was last year when the lawsuit was first announced. But let's get into some of the other shows that we had from WWE this week, Miss Krssi Love, because you had Monday Night Raw, which was Monday Night Raw on Netflix. This is week 4 of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Week 3 did 3 million viewers, which is down to almost 3 million from the debut week. So they are trending downwards as far as where they started. They finished after the first 2 weeks on Netflix, finishing at number 4 in the top 10 on Netflix. They were down to number 7 this week. But on Monday Night Raw for week 4, the show featured what I thought was a great interwoven main event, 3-segment, like 40-minute block of Monday Night Raw on Monday this week, as you had first Paul Heyman announcing and revealing that Roman Reigns will be on the cover of 2K25 video game along with himself. Drew McIntyre interrupted Heyman to remind him that he deserves a thank you for helping him go on this all-timer run because he eliminated Roman from the 2020 Royal Rumble and went on to be his old client Brock Lesnar for the WWE title at WrestleMania 36. That led to Heyman being lost at sea and swimming back to shore to get in Roman's ear when he was in a bad place. McIntyre then told Heyman to tell his boy that he's coming for him at the Royal Rumble. When Heyman said he would tell Roman, Drew told him, I was talking about Punk. McIntyre then went on to defeat Sami Zayn in the main event to go 11-0 against Sami. Jesus, Cammy. Defend yourself. Post-match, Drew McIntyre attacked Sami Zayn until Cody Rhodes made the save. Kevin Owens jumped Cody Rhodes from behind until Rhodes fought back. Drew attacked Cody until Sami Zayn went for the Aluva kick for the 2nd week in a row on Drew, only for McIntyre to duck out the way. Last week, it was Seth. This week, it was Cody Rhodes who got hit with the Aluva kick. Kevin Owens very impressed with his best friend at this point. I thought that was the end of the show. Then we go after commercial break. Cody Rhodes cut a promo about the Royal Rumble, seeming very much disheveled after everything that just went down, which led to CM Punk interrupting. Punk and Cody went on to have a tremendous back and forth promo exchange talking about Rhodes being wore down after almost 300 days as undisputed WWE champion and teasing a potential WrestleMania showdown between the two. I loved how Punk compared himself to Cody, saying that when he was around day 300, he stopped being the person that he was proud of. And it was around day 300 that he turned heel on The Rock. And that's what started the second half of his title run. So great stuff. Great notes. Great work by both men. Seth Rollins opened the show to discuss wanting to win the men's rumble, only for Gunther to interrupt. The ring general talked down to Rollins until Logan Paul came out to deafening boos. Paul declared for the men's rumble as well. The New Day's Xavier Woods lost to Rey Mysterio in his hometown of Atlanta in a pretty fun match, thanks to a distraction from Woods' family who wore New Day sucks shirts.
And Little Yachty.
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Bianca Belair and Naomi in a fine bout, thanks to interference from Dominic Mysterio. Penta and Braun Breaker both declared for the men's rumble, also got into a backstage confrontation between the two. Meanwhile, over for the women, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, and Ivy Nile all declared for the women's rumble. And finally, the War Raiders defeated the Judgment Day's JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio in a very good opener to the show to retain the World Tag Team Championships that featured one of the scariest bumps in quite some time as JD McDonough went crashing back and head first into the reinforced commentary table first after an acai moonsault during the matchup. JD McDonough suffered some serious injuries to that. We'll talk about that in a minute here, but let's talk mostly about the main event segment. The main of I have my complaints about WWE television. I think that Triple H has done a piss poor job over the last year with the women's division. He's trying a little bit more, but he's still struggling to get over the tag team division as well. Yeah. And the mid-card titles have taken a step back after the first year and a half of Triple H in creative control. The mid-card titles took a drastic improvement. But the last year or so, or the last 8 months, he's taken a step back when it comes to those mid-card titles.
It was going up, and then it started going back down, if that makes sense.
But nobody is writing a main event scene better than WWE right now. How all these main event characters are so interwoven. You got Drew, the Drew and Heyman stuff. Drew's history with Roman Reigns, going back to Clash at the Castle 2022, and his rivalries that parlayed from that with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's decades-long relationship with Kevin Owens, and now Kevin Owens trying to talk Sami Zayn into helping him win the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens' old friend and Sami's friend, Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes has a whole bunch of relationships and rivalries with all these different people, whether it's, he beat Gunther, the world heavyweight champion, back at Crown Jewel. Gunther gets into a promo segment with Seth Rollins, who has a good reason to go after him with the title that he made famous as the first champion in 2023, or go after Cody, the man that he helped win the WWE Championship at last year's WrestleMania. And how did he do that? By playing off of the mind games and the mind control that he basically has on Roman Reigns after betraying him more than a decade ago in all their history with one another. And then you got Roman Reigns, who has history now and an issue with CM Punk, who has a favor from Roman Reigns' wise man, Paul Heyman, and helped Roman Reigns beat the Bloodline at Survivor Series. I just named 8 or 9 different guys.
I was about to say, SP, it's just like, the detective that's standing in front of the board, and that's all of the things connected all the red lines all the way to everybody, and everyone is connected some kind of way. So it's easy. I think they've put all of their eggs in the basket of the big guys, and everyone else has got lost in the shuffle, if that makes sense, right? So and listen, it's someone's fault, but it's not everyone's fault per se, because of all of these big guys that they got to control and look after. So you should have other people that have the supporting roles for the tag teams, the mid cards, because you could easily have such a successful company if you had everyone taking care of these things, and you not just this one person doing everything, aka Tony Khan and Paul Levesque. Right or wrong? Okay. So if you had supporting people maybe Paul Heyman or whatever, let's take care of give Paul the mid card people. I think Braun needs to get off the belt needs to get off him now. It's he's done it twice. Great. Let's get it let's get more momentum and let's get it off him.
And neither one was good. Neither one was good. I said the other day, I forgot what platform I was on. I think I was on here with Jimmy, where I was the first 6 months of Braun Breaker on the main roster, splendid. They were building him up. Remember when he was destroying people every week, when he was feuding with Dragunov and Ricochet in the summer?
Where the hell is Dragunov? Is he injured?
He's injured.
Okay.
Yeah, he should be on his way back, which is miraculous, because he had a serious injury, and he just got injured in September. So if he's on his way back, that's miraculous.
Shit. Okay. Well, that's that. And I didn't want to say, you know, I'm how I feel about Braun. So I didn't want to say like the runs have been bad. All I'm just saying is the runs need to be over right now. It's done. Okay, fine. That's that. The War Raiders, that's cute. However, we need to build the tag team division on Raw. I think we have a better tag division on SmackDown. But
yeah, because there's actual tag teams on SmackDown.
That part. What I'm saying is that division over on at Raw, or maybe even have. I think this is where the problem stands. The two belts is the damn belts back in it's the two version. Just like the girls go back and forth, maybe we need to have the intertwine of the tag guys come back and forth. Because at this point,
because let's be real, the tag team division was much better when it was undisputed tag team champions. It just was.
It really was, though.
It was so I know there was a lot of people. There was so many people who were like, "Oh, they need to split the titles. It could give all these tag teams a chance." That was them assuming that the trickle down effect and the great job that WWE does with interwoven all different types of players in their main event scene, that it would trickle down to the tag team division. My dude, it's not trickling down to the women's division. What made you think it would trickle down to the tag team division? That's one tier below the women's division. It's not trickling down to that.
And to be honest, like with the women, like I think some of the one of their best matches was from on NXT this weekend for the tag titles.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest, like, and I could have swore I thought they was gonna give it to the girl to Katara and what's the damn girl and Jackson
and Jakara Jackson. I thought so too. I thought
they were gonna win. I thought because I was like, listen, give the girls a chance. They're actually really, really good. Like they've done a vast improvement since where they were at last year. So okay, so let's just. But anywho, I'm getting off topic. What I'm trying to say is, once you start having people and give like people direction and be in charge of certain things, I promise you'll see a drastic change of how you intertwine and you make things go the right way. Because like you said, we have a huge main event scene and we have like 8 or 10 guys that can easily take the company where you wanted them to go. Now, where do we go in the middle? Where's the sandwich? The sandwich is soggy and is not good.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah, it's just everywhere else is the issue with WWE.
So we look forward to the beginning and the end. We don't the middle part. We could just like do without.
But we got the excitement of the beginning of the year and some optimism that they can turn things around. And I mean, honestly, at this point, after 2024, which wasn't really talked about that much, but I thought it was an awful year as far as like WWE main roster women's division.
Yeah.
It didn't get much worse than that. So I think that they can have a better 2025.
You would hope so. And again, the women's division, both title reigns, like I'm already bored and Tiffany ain't did shit yet.
You said I'm already bored and Tiffany ain't do shit.
Where's the light, SP?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
She came out last night. I was just like, okay, now what?
I was like, you had one good match, and you haven't really done anything. But it's only been a month. To be fair, it's only been a month.
It's only been a month. Sorry. Okay, fine. Okay, let me give her more time. First of all, she came out looking like last night. She came out looking like Lacey Evans.
Did you hear Mandy Rose got mad at her for using her "put some respect on my name" line?
First of all, let's if you want to know who really originated that word, that line. The fucking DEI people is just making everyone go fucking bananas.
They bugging out over here, yo.
Bitch, you didn't make that line up. You didn't make it up. She's
They
like, oh,
over here
she stole my
crashing
name.
out.
She stole my look. Blah blah blah. Now, girl, both of you bitches stole that look from Charlotte. If you want to be honest,
You were like,
That
now,
just meant-
ma'am. Now,
now,
ma'am.
ma'am. Now you made it look better, but
Mhm.
you didn't originate none of this stuff. I'm just saying. I digress.
She tried, though.
She really
She tried.
tried it. She tried it. She really did try it.
Give her effort for trying, I guess.
And I was like, bitch, you
but
still got us in your mouth. You left. How you still talking about us? You left.
you left. You're not here no more. What you doing? What you doing
still
here?
talking? You want to come back? Come back. Come on. Come back. We'll let you back.
1000% agree with this comment here from Dion Jenkins, who says the tag division needs the Usos. They have more value as a tag team than single stars.
I think so too. And listen, I think they would make more. Listen, they're making the guys. Jade is very, very over. Yes, but the boys will look so much better if they're together. They make more money. You get more honey with bees, and you need these two bees to be working together to get the honey.
Good analogy. I like it.
Same.
I'll allow it. But we got another super chat donation from LeVay Carter. Thank you so much, LeVay, for the support. He says, "Law and Order, Tru Heel. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
They was filming by my job the other day. I was hoping to see Stabler or one of them niggas outside. They stay in Lower Manhattan all the
time. I love that theme. That theme is awesome. One of my favorite non-wording themes in history of television.
It's a classic. It goes up there. It's top tier.
Top tier stuff. But yes,
even the introduction when the man talks. That's the intro to the song.
Yes. Any other thoughts on the go home segment on Monday Night Raw with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes? And do you think that WWE should think about making a Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk main event of WrestleMania? And what do you think that would mean for everybody else? Because I think that after the segment, I think that's what everybody's first thought is are they actually going to do Punk and Cody? Because their dynamic, them telling the story that they did was so compelling on Monday Night Raw that I would be actually interested in seeing the match. I was left with a lot more optimism about a Punk versus Cody matchup after this segment in comparison to their promo last year ahead of Royal Rumble. I thought that this was more towards, hey, this is a potential match that you could see down the line, whereas their promo last year was all about them being in the Royal Rumble, which I think is pretty simple, but I really think that WWE did an overall terrific job on Monday night of building what the Royal Rumble means. It's like they didn't just go, oh, I'm going to go through 29 other men and that's all, blah, 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 blah. It was more about, if I win the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins says, if I win the Royal Rumble, I can go after Cody and go after the title. I hope to win. I could go after Gunther. Then he teases the Gunther match. Logan Paul says, I can win and I could become the world heavyweight champion. Gunther's even saying, you know what? I don't want Seth to win. I want Logan Paul to win because I want to smack the smirk off of his face. Penta wants to prove that he's the best in the world, so he has to go into the Rumble and face all 29 other men. Jey Uso wants to get back to the World Championship, so he has to win the Royal Rumble to once again main event WrestleMania. Sami Zayn is about winning his first World Championship, so he has to go through 20. Like, it was so much of this is why I'm in the Royal Rumble. This is why I need to win the Royal Rumble on this show. You literally have that with pretty much everyone who's been announced for the Royal Rumble, especially the men's part of it this year.
But then that's how the ladies get lost, because they didn't even give a shit about the ladies' Rumble at all.
They spent like 2 hours building up the men's Rumble on Raw and spent like 10 minutes building up the women.
So that just tells me the women will open, the men will close yet again.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more hype surrounding the men's Rumble.
But it's just like, okay. The only hype that I feel like that will happen with the women are the ladies that just signed on to the company, and then the returns. We're gonna have some of the older ladies that were, the vets come. Oh my god, that means Nikki Bella is gonna be in it. Fuck.
You can look, but you can't touch. You keep bringing out the stars above. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know the
song.
I just know the rhythm. I know the rhythm of the song. I don't know the actual song.
I done forgot what the damn question was. But anywho, whatever. They have hyped up the men's, and I would like to see Cody and CM Punk more than I would like to see John Cena and Cody. But whatever. That's just me.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I think the only issue with the Cody versus Punk matchup, though, is the fact that what does then Roman Reigns do? And how do you make what Roman Reigns does not feel lesser than? Because Cody versus CM Punk, that's a slam dunk.
Yes.
Night 2 main event. That's slam dunk. Night 2 main event. There's nobody else that I can see a Roman versus Seth matchup being a main event for WrestleMania, but I can't see it being the night two main event. No, because I think that you can set it up because of their history with one another and the fact they never faced at WrestleMania.
Okay. And finally Seth will get his main event.
Yeah, a main event that he's not just shoehorned in like he was last year. Yes, agreed.
Okay. Okay, fine, fair.
And I 100% agree with Dion Jenkins. Like, if you don't think that CM Punk has the best odds or at the very least second best odds to win the Royal Rumble, you haven't been watching over the last 2 months.
Nope.
Because this whole build has been about CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. 2 guys, CM Punk and Roman. That's it.
Yep. And Roman hasn't showed up. It's a 3-horse race to win the Rumble, and the 2 of the horses have not showed up. It's only been 1 horse that's been here every week. Like, if John Cena or Roman Reigns win, I'm not even that big of a CM Punk fan. But at one time I was. I'm gonna be offended for him if he don't win the Royal Rumble. Because that's a damn shame. This man did all the heavy lifting, and then these niggas gonna show up on the day and win?
Listen, don't be mad at the card that you was dealt, friend. I'm sorry. You got here later in the game. I don't know what you want us to tell you, bro. It's 5 guys that you got. Seth, Drew, Cena, Roman, CM Punk. Those 5 guys. I'm sorry, Sammy. You're at the back. Sorry.
What did you say? You said
Drew,
Punk, Roman, Cena,
Drew,
Seth.
It's Seth, yes. Those 5 guys. Yeah.
That's fair. That's a fair. I would say, like, yeah, that's the
top 5. That's the top 5. The top
well, I would
2,
say, yeah, in this year's Rumble, yeah, you're right. I think that is a 3-horse race. I don't think
I don't even know how the hell I just did that, but whatever.
I think that Drew and Seth make good dark horse arguments, but correct. I don't think that they belong in the same tier as the top 3.
Right. That's what, again, if you're building around, we're building around all of our top guys, right? These are the top guys that are in a company, 3 of which will not win the Royal Rumble. They're good contenders, and they're good Trojan, they're good supporting actors in this movie. Yeah, right? You with me? So we got our main guys. Now we need our supporting people to help us get those main guys there. Who are those main guys? Drew, Seth, and Cena.
Well, if you're talking about outside of the Rumble, like, yeah, you got to throw in Cody in there.
True. But Cody's not in the Rumble because he's the champ. So we're talking about the people that are not champs right now. And then you got Sammy in the back just waiting to say, put me in, coach. I'm like Mankind. I'm ready to go. You know?
I'm here when you need me. I'm right here. I swear I'm still here.
I've been here. I don't plan on going nowhere, but I'm here.
Still here.
here.
We got Wrestling Lowdown who says, good to see you in the chat. I haven't seen you in a while. He says, yes, Cody versus Punk. Cody's reign as champion has not been good or interesting to me. I mean, we talked about it 2 weeks ago, Miss Krssi Love, and we're going to drop the video probably on Monday about our whole discussion about why WWE and AEW champions suck right now. So yes, Cody Rhodes had a very, very lackluster, kind of boring reign until Kevin Owens. The Kevin Owens rivalry saved the Cody reign for me.
Yeah. Because he had like very predictable people that were coming after him, but they really didn't build up they didn't build anything around him when he faced these people. We already knew that he was going to win, but when he was like going against these people, they didn't really do anything. Okay, yes, here's your next guy. Oh, what are we going to talk about today? Okay, here's the next guy that comes in, tries to face.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? I am the pinnacle.
It's not Cody's fault.
Pro wrestling. Right. My daddy. What do you want to talk about? It's because of all of you guys, because you wanted me, and I wanted you, and I finished the story, and I am the beacon of pro wrestling, and I did it for my daughter, and my wife, and my mama.
And he had them there on Monday, too? Because they live in Atlanta, Georgia. That's why, duh.
That's why I really liked the promo exchange between him and Punk, because that was so not a Cody promo. Like, he just felt so
it really wasn't.
And worn down. It worked for what they were going to talk about. But let's talk some more. We got a couple of more comments to highlight here. Dion Jenkins says, I always pop when SP3 beatboxes in Nikki Bella's theme. Yo, it's an underrated theme. People need to put some respect on you can look, but you can't touch. You can't dream of the stars above.
I low-key want Kevin Owens to win, even though I know he's not going to win. But I low-key want him to win, though. But whatever.
It's a mystery. No on your mind. I Make Beats says, I really want KO to beat Cody, but I know it ain't going to happen.
Yo, I Make Beats. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I want the anti-hero to win, but I know KO's going to give us a show tonight.
We also got Wrestling Lowdown Show who says Roman versus Rock. Wrestling Lowdown Show, maybe you missed the Raw on Netflix debut, but Rock ain't coming to Mania. He kind of told us that. He kind of announced it. I don't know if everybody caught it, but he kind of announced it on the Raw on Netflix premiere. He ain't showing up for WrestleMania. Andy, this is probably the vibe. If you do Cody versus Punk, yeah, it's Roman versus Jacob Fatu would probably be the direction that I would lean for a big-time Roman Reigns matchup without the title. You also got I Made Beats who says Roman versus Punk for the Wise Man. I think that if Roman versus Punk does go down, I think it will be for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Wrestling Lowdown Show mentioning Punk still has the favor. Indeed. We got Brandon Brown, one of our members in the chat, who says technically Seth did get a main event at WrestleMania and faced Roman in the heist of the century when Seth won the belt. Yes, so he's been in 2 WrestleMania main events, technically. We got Chilling with Chase, who says betting odds have Rock higher than Drew and Jay higher than Drew. Wow. Drew is a favorite in the Rumble now?
Chase, where are you seeing these odds? Is this like FanDuel? Like where do you see?
No, he goes to betonline.ag.
Oh, never heard of it, but okay. Got it.
Yeah. And he's given us the updated odds. I know Cena most of this week has been the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Chase updating us saying that Punk is the favorite, entering at plus 100. Cena is second at plus 150. Seth at plus 250, and he's jumped over Roman Reigns because Roman had been number 2 for the longest in the favorites. Now Roman is number 4 at plus 350. Rock at plus 700 and Jey Uso at plus 1,000. Drew is at plus 2,200. God damn.
Damn. Okay.
Nikki Bella appreciation stream when? You guys decide. Hey,
I won't be there.
If we hit our super chat goal, I am doing it for all the members of the channel. I'm doing a live Nikki Bella appreciation stream where we can watch Nikki Bella matches, and I can do a beatbox edition of You Can Look But You Can't Touch. Called it here first. You heard it here first. We got Davion, who says the New York Knicks have a better chance of winning a world championship before Kevin Owens does. God damn. That's mean.
That's messed up, but okay.
In some news coming off the heels of Monday Night Raw this week, there's been one name on the tip of everyone's tongue as returning to WWE ahead of the Raw on Netflix premiere, as well as this tonight's WWE Royal Rumble event from Indianapolis, Indiana, and of course, that is Becky Lynch. She is another superstar that is expected to return at tonight's Royal Rumble event. According to a new report by PW Insider Elite, the former WWE Women's World Champion Becky Lynch is set to be in attendance at the event this weekend. Additionally, the report notes that WWE plans on avoiding her being spotted in Indianapolis, Indiana. It said that the assumption within WWE is that Lynch will be one of the many surprise entrants for the Women's Royal Rumble matchup, and Lynch competing in the match has not yet been confirmed, so it will be considered a surprise for the event. WWE and Netflix did promote Lynch in ads for Monday Night Raw on the streamer, but it was also reported that a WWE return for Lynch was planned for the Monday Night Raw on Netflix premiere, but it was cut from the show. Additionally, Fightful Select reported today that Lynch is currently awaiting creative plans and could make her return at any time, quote unquote. Fightful Select reports in a more recent update on Becky Lynch that WWE sources pushed back on the idea of a Lynch return this weekend at WWE Royal Rumble. It was also noted by Fightful that creative plans were still being discussed for her return, so we are yet to see, but do you expect, where are you going to put it, Krssi? 0 to 100, we see Becky Lynch in tonight's Royal Rumble.
85.
I'll go 95.
Okay.
I think WWE would be stupid not to put Becky Lynch in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Especially now that Charlotte's coming back too. Hello.
Just makes sense. Just makes sense.
Just
put them together.
We have 3 of the 4 horsewomen there. Hello. Come on, people. Book it. You got to have her there. You're obviously telling us that you need the women's division better because you it's only around Rhea Ripley. So you need the other 2 big girls there.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It feels like the roster is coming into whole. The women's division is coming into a hole. Because it felt like a lot of last year was them putting women in positions that they are not really suited for. Liv Morgan, Nia Jax.
Yes.
Now you're going to have the women that probably would have had those roles if they were still around in Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair returning to form. And then we can see kind of the players who have been doing good in lesser positions, maybe move up a bit, like Io Sky, Bianca Belair.
And they need to be moving those girls up soon. Yeah, I guess Io could be in the picture too. I would have put Naomi before Io, but whatever.
What?
Well, because why did you bring her back then?
I mean, like I understand, like they just brought her back, but Io Sky is just objectively better than Naomi.
Okay, fine, sure.
That's why I had the surprise face because I'm like, once you said your reasoning of why you wouldn't Naomi, I was like, oh, okay, that's a little bit. But when you first said it, I was like, are you trying to say Naomi's better than Io?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I was like, on what world?
Okay, you know what, SP, I can never be me. All right, fine.
Krssi Love, like I can't ever protect my black woman. Okay, SB3. I can't protect my sisters. Okay, SB3.
Fine. You the whole. You're the front one of the. We can't. Why do we have DEIs in the first place? Then SP.
No clue. Oh my God.
This is why you can't do the both of us together, because we always go off the fucking rails. We never could get through a fucking segment without the fucking foolishness.
Oh, we got Davion who says Becky Lynch number 30 in the Rumble. Where would you place her if she does come back? I don't think she will be the biggest surprise in the Royal Rumble.
I would put Charlotte at 30 before I put Becky.
That would fit. My whole theory is that they're booking Charlotte Flair like Cody Rhodes in 2023. They did the vignettes leading up to his return, announced his return ahead of time instead of letting him be a surprise, and she's number 30. Yeah, that would be the check. I would check all the boxes on my theory.
That's my prediction. I think that she's number 30. But for Becky, I would put her in the middle of the pack. I put her like 15 or 20. Okay. Don't put her at number 1 because she's not there to work all fucking day. No, we're not doing that. No. Okay, Beats, if you want her to be at number 1 for the Wild Pop, sure. But she ain't there to be working all fucking night.
No. And Becky don't have that like type of entrance that needs to be number 1, number 2.
That part. Maybe Jordan Grace would probably be number 1.
Could see that.
Or 2.
I think Jordan Grace is either going to be the Iron Woman or most eliminations.
Yeah.
So. All right, we'll run down all the different people that have been mentioned for this year's Royal Rumble, whether it be the men's or the women's Royal Rumble matches. We're going to get to that shortly as we talk about the news from this week. So keep coming with those comments. I see a bunch of comments about different people you guys expect will be returning. So we'll give a percentage for all the news on all the people that have been mentioned to potentially appear in the Royal Rumble on this show. But we had some other news from Monday Night Raw this week. As previously reported, JD McDonough had that scary injury on Monday Night Raw, and apparently he suffered broken ribs and a punctured lung.
How? Like from that, I was like, damn.
He was taken to the hospital after the show and checked on multiple times by Triple H. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that McDonough had to be rushed to the hospital when he got backstage as he collapsed. While the Judgment Day member said that he would be out for a couple of months, a source estimated that it would likely be around 4 months. However, it was stressed that it's just an estimate. Also on the injury front, during Tuesday's edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez reported that Apollo Crews was injured during his matchup with Johnny Gargano on the January 24th edition of the WWE SmackDown. Damn. The full details of the injury are unknown. Crews may have been hurt during the backcracker spot. Alvarez stated, Apollo Crews, I checked on that one. He is also injured. I don't have an update yet, but it was exactly what I talked about last night. He took that backcracker, and I don't know if it's his pec or his shoulder or what, but he's hurt. So he was injured in that match, and what it is, we don't know yet. Another big recent injury was suffered by Dakota Kai. WWE superstar was pulled from touring this month after she was hurt during a match on the January 20th WWE Raw on Netflix. Brian Alvarez provided an update on Kai during Tuesday's edition of Wrestling Observer. According to Alvarez, Dakota Kai suffered a concussion during her match on Raw, and she's now in concussion protocol. It's unknown if Kai will be healed and ready to go in time for the WWE Royal Rumble tonight. It appeared Kai landed hard after the missile dropkick spot by Zoe Stark during a tag team matchup between Damage Control and the Pure Fusion Collective. Kai still performed the rest of the match following the spot, but goddamn, I knew that dropkick was dangerous. That dropkick freaking stunned her, but it freaking concussed her.
The one from Zoe, right?
Yeah. That missile dropkick looked like it would have hurt.
It looked like it hurt.
The impact was ridiculous.
Sorry. Damn. Someone put a damn hex on these kids, yo. I swear, well, not kids, but these wrestlers, because like, it ain't no way, like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm not throwing any shade at Naomi, Jalil. I'm not throwing any shade at Naomi. I think Naomi is really good, and she's very popular in what she does. And I think that she's found a good role with Bianca Belair in this tag team. But she's not on the same level as Io Sky. Like, there's levels to this. We just gotta understand. Like, there's levels to this, guys. Like, hey, guys, I really like I'm trying to think of someone. I'm trying to think of someone who's not that. I really like Harley Cameron. I enjoy every time she's on camera, and I want her to get more camera time. But I'm not going to stand up here and be like, Harley Cameron deserves more camera time than Mercedes Moné. Harley Cameron deserves more camera time than timeless Toni Storm, because there's levels to this. And I don't think Naomi is on the same level as Io Sky. Sorry if that offended you. I apologize. But WWE has also announced some big events coming up. Firstly, they are going back to France, Miss Krssi Love. WWE announced that they will hold WWE Clash in Paris this summer. August 31st is the date. It will take place at the Paris La Défense Arena. The following night's Raw will also be held in the same venue. WWE went to France last year with Backlash in Lyon, France. And WWE also announced a schedule of events for the WrestleMania 41 weekend this week, which includes NXT Stand and Deliver. That event will take place on April 19th. Meanwhile, the SmackDown before WrestleMania takes place on April 18th, and the Raw after WrestleMania happens on April 21st. WWE announced on, I believe, Wednesday, announced its initial schedule of major events planned for WrestleMania 41 weekend in Las Vegas, including 3 events at T-Mobile Arena: Friday Night SmackDown, NXT Stand and Deliver, and Monday Night Raw. So some big stuff coming later this year for WWE, going back to France, and WrestleMania 41. So a lot to look forward to. But we do have a super chat donation, or a couple of super chat donations to get to. We got first up Jaleel, who says, I'm here for Jordan winning the Rumble, her versus Ripley, and then Jordan wins, plus Naomi is awesome. I'm a fan of Naomi as well. I'm not saying Naomi isn't awesome.
You're right. I think I guys should miss. I think SP was saying that he just thinks that Io is the better wrestler than Naomi is. Okay. Not saying that he does not like, and that was, and I think you guys kind of interpreted what I was saying. I was saying, like, homegirl came back, she left something that she was doing really good in Impact, which now is showing, and we'll get more into what she's been doing to intertwine that relationship. But I was just saying, like, she's been like sacrificing, and she left that company to come back here, and they haven't really done anything for her. So that's all I'm just saying. Well, that's what we're saying, basically.
Yes. I will get to Brandon Brown, who's always showing us love in his unique way very shortly here. He's sending us a couple of super chat donations now. But let's get into Friday Night SmackDown last night. The show featured... we'll get to that. Okay, the show featured last night Kevin Owens giving his final words ahead of his undisputed WWE champion. God damn, what the fuck? Undisputed WWE Championship ladder match against Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble tonight. However, CM Punk came out to interrupt. Our first time seeing Punk interact with Kevin Owens. And I was surprised that Kevin Owens didn't have any slide comments about the Young Bucks or Elite. They got into a very entertaining back and forth promo exchange between the two. Although it had the overarching feeling to me personally, maybe because I know their history, they did not feel comfortable with one another at all. Am I the only one? Let me know in the chat if you watched that segment.
Like going back and forth with each other because they're friends.
Like they both fumbled over their words because I felt like they were not comfortable with each other because they were being very careful on what to say.
Interesting.
So it did not feel like Cody and Punk, they can have an intense back and forth promo exchange and be all right because they're really friends in real life.
Mhm.
These guys cannot because they're not. And I thought that the fact that they don't like each other would have helped the intensity of the segment. The segment was still,
Right.
I would say, good and entertaining, but it just felt like it didn't hit the highs that it could have because it felt like they were being very careful on what to say. But maybe it's just me. Let me know in the chat. Naomi picked up a victory over Liv Morgan. Post-match, Morgan and Bianca Belair. Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez jumped Naomi and Bianca Belair during the post-match to stand tall. Tiffany Stratton was interrupted by Candice LeRae, who said that Tiffy was jealous of her for being a better friend to Nia Jax. Jax then came out and laid out Tiffy with the Annihilator to stand tall. Meechin beat Chelsea Green via disqualification, so Green retained the WWE Women's United States Championship. Not as good as their previous matches. Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza defeated DIY and Pretty Deadly in a pretty fun 8-man tag team matchup. Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, picked up the victory over Carmelo Hayes in a solid match. Andrade beat The Miz in a surprisingly good matchup that got a big reaction from the fans. Damian Priest declared for the men's Royal Rumble matchup before him and LA Knight picked up the victory over Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, but Jacob Fatu stood tall in the post match after laying out Priest. So thought it was solid episode of SmackDown. I feel like the bar for SmackDown, like a really good, a really great, perfect show of pro wrestling would get like a 10 out of 10. I think that's Raw has the ability to get a 10 out of 10. SmackDown, Dynamite has the ability to get a 10 out of 10. Even NXT has the ability to get a 10 out of 10. 3-hour Raws, I don't have the opportunity to get a 10 out of 10. I think the high they can get. Yeah, 3-hour SmackDown. Excuse me. 3-hour SmackDown doesn't have the ability to get a 10 out of 10 because there's no way it could be.
Yo, the fucking commercial.
Because they saved it all for the back end. Because if you notice, the first hour was commercial free. So then they backloaded all the commercials because it was hour free.
Now that fucking makes sense now. I'm like, yo, and it's like so much promos. Like, I'm like, how many fucking times you gonna keep showing us all these like? Okay, that makes sense now. Got it. Okay, that's fair.
But what was your favorite parts of last night's show? God damn, you ain't have no favorite parts of last night's show.
Yeah, I don't think I had a favorite. It was that forgetful. That's probably why.
You didn't like Punk and KO?
I'm about to say maybe only the Punk and KO part, but like you said, it didn't feel like it was like really. It wasn't as good as the Punk and Cody one. That's probably why. Yeah. If that makes sense, it wasn't like really like it. It was forgettable.
Sure. That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. That just popped me when you didn't answer for like a minute. That was cool.
Because I was really, really trying hard to find something to think about. That's why. But a 3-hour SmackDown is terrible. Terrible fucking job. Terrible. 3 hours is no time, especially if you're not building up the people on that show. How do you dig 3 hours? The poor people that got to sit there for 3 hours is terrible. I mean,
man, I can only imagine WrestleMania weekend. You got to sit there for 4 hours because then you got the Hall of Fame afterwards. You're sitting there for 5 hours probably because the Hall of Fame ain't going to be 1 hour.
No, so they should probably make SmackDown 2 hours and then do this Hall of Fame afterwards.
So do the 3rd hour of SmackDown as the Hall of Fame? Like when AEW does 3-hour blocks and it's Rampage for the final hour?
That's it, yeah. Absolutely.
I can see that. We got Chilling with Chase. It says 3 hours SmackDown feels like punishment. What did we do to deserve this? Started talking shit of how good 3-hour Raws were, and he was like, "Oh, you know what? We got something for you." We got Davion who says 3 hours of SmackDown is egregious. God damn. You guys using SAT words out here. Egregious. We also got Big Man Dawes. Good to see you, good sir. He says, I'm just dropping in and say that I didn't watch SmackDown ever since it went 3 hours. Have a nice Rumble day.
Yo.
You made the right decision, sir.
The
right decision.
Friend. Yeah.
Chilling with Jay says, SP3, be real. We sitting there for 6 hours. Triple H gonna have an hour and a half induction ceremony and just self-congratulatory masturbating in front of those Las Vegas fans. Have fun, guys, in Vegas.
Yo, I really wanted to go to Vegas, and then as it keeps planning out, I'm like, I'm actually happy I'm not going to Vegas.
Yeah. You got one less show in Supercard of Honor as well, because AEW decided to pull Supercard of Honor from WrestleMania weekend. So it's either you go to the Collective for GCW, you go to WWE sponsored events, or you just enjoy Vegas.
You just enjoy Vegas, yeah.
Which all of those options sounds like you're going to spend a whole bunch of money. And looking at the prices for WrestleMania, I'm like, I am totally good. WrestleMania is gutting on some Super Bowl status where only the rich and the wealthy is going to be able to go. Which I don't know about y'all, but that doesn't sound like the best crowd for a WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Nope, not at all.
Shall see how what the future holds. We got our good brother Brandon Brown, who always comes in the chat. He sees what our goal for super chat donations is, and he always says, SP3, Krssi, Tru Heel Heat, y'all gonna hit that goal, because he hits us with, you can look, but you can't touch Nikki Bella. Yes. Thank you so much, Brandon Brown, sending us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 super chats in a row to help us hit our goal for today. We appreciate you so
Brandon,
much.
why you want to be a troll with Nikki Bella? It's okay.
God, you said you didn't like it, and I love it.
I know.
You can look, but you can't touch. You keep dreaming about the stars above. Boom. 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 It's the mystery in on your mind. Come on, man. Like, y'all ain't fucking with that. Who got a better theme song than that? Tell me. I'll wait.
Swerve.
All right, you got me. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brandon Brown, for the support. Yes, we'll be doing what we'll do is next week, what I put for the goal is for us to do a THH Q&A. So probably maybe either next week or the week after, I'll ask my co-host here, whether it be Krssi, True Draw Josh, or maybe even our producer, if we're able to finish it in a reasonable amount of time, because he has a 3-hour limit. But we could do a Q&A.
So we got to hurry up.
Yeah, we could do a Q&A for our members next week. So that's what we'll do for hitting our goal today. So thank you so much, Brandon Brown, for helping us hit our goal. We also got another super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Once again, Chuck Berries, thank you so much, good brother. He says, with the clear emergence of Jacob Fatu, where and how do you think Solo will fit in all of this? And could Solo be built favorably to compete with Jacob? I think that the best thing for WWE to do as far as facilitating the Jacob Fatu rise and emergence is by having him turn on Solo Sikoa. I think Solo Sikoa trying to embrace more of his NXT character fundamentals of the street fighter and a loner who's gonna fight and kind of be this street thug who's fighting to get up, that made for a pretty popular babyface at the time in NXT. I think that if he's turned on if he makes amends with the OG bloodline members, and then they even take him into the OG bloodline, you could have a future babyface in the making in Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. I think he's a babyface now. Just you guys just have him as a heel.
He does have the charisma of a baby. He's just naturally funny.
Yeah.
Like him, Jimmy, and Jay. Like Rikishi done made some funny ass people. Like, like all three of them have that comedy gene that is very, and they're very endearing.
Wait, hold on. You said
Jimmy J, Solo.
Oh, I thought you just said Jacob. Sorry. Yeah, not bad.
No. Jimmy J and Solo, they're brothers.
No, Solo is definitely funny. And I think he got more, I think he relaxed more once he got into that role. At first it was really
it took him a while. It took him a while.
But after a while, he got into the flow of what he was supposed to be doing, and he had fun with it. Once you're having fun, all bet the balls are you're gonna do great. So your character is good. Now we haven't seen you since you lost, but it's whatever.
Now, for a while, it was Solo Sikoa playing the role of Roman Reigns, and then it finally became Solo Sikoa playing this little brother trying to be the big brother character, which was perfect. It was a perfect level of acknowledging that he's not the guy for this role, but he still can feel like it at times. And we finally got one more super chat donation once again from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support, good sir. He says, if LA Knight, were to face Damian Priest at WrestleMania this year, who would you book as the heel? I don't think that's going to be the WrestleMania matchup.
I wouldn't want to see that, but whatever.
I wouldn't want to see that, but I don't think it's going to be the WrestleMania matchup. But if it were, since you did send a super chat donation, got to answer the question. I would put LA Knight as the heel.
Yeah, because Damian is already the baby face right now.
Well, they're both babyface right now, but I feel like LA Knight could make the better babyface of the two. I mean, the better heel of the two.
I agree.
I think he has the charisma. He has the mic skills. He can make a heel turn work. I don't know if I have that same kind of faith in Damian Priest. Just me. But we finally got one more show from WWE to get to, but before we do that, we have the news and notes from SmackDown, and we got to bring up the news that broke over here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel just during AE Ramble this week, as WWE has confirmed that Triple H will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. As noted earlier this week, it was reported by PW Insider that the WWE CCO, will be the headliner for this year's Hall of Fame class, while WWE WWE did not confirm the headliner status. Shawn Michaels posted a video of himself and The Undertaker informing Triple H that he would be inducted as a solo act this year. Triple H is the first person confirmed for the 2025 class. Levesque has commented on the announcement via social media, calling it an immense honor. He said, been trying to come up with a way to say thank you for the immense honor announced yesterday. I have had the incredible pleasure of a 30-plus year of creating moments and memories, meeting lifelong friends, which I'm rethinking both at Undertaker and at Shawn Michaels right now. And of course, the most incredible wife and mother at Steph McMahon, and the opportunity to entertain the best fans in the world. Thank you to everyone who has reached out. I appreciate the kind words and well wishes. Additionally, WWE released an extended vlog showing Triple H getting the surprise news from Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker when kicking off the Royal Rumble week at WWE HQ. My question to all of you, my question to Miss Krssi Love when she's back, do any of y'all buy that this was a surprise? He names who's in the Hall of Fame. What am I supposed to believe? Now is the year. Now, for the first time ever, we're not gonna let Triple H announce it. We're gonna make Triple H go into Hall of Fame himself. Vince McMahon was in charge of this company for 40 years. Never put himself in the Hall of Fame. The fact that Vince never did that shit, this is astonishing. This is astonishing that Triple H is going to get away with this shit.
I think he probably didn't know that they were going to announce it there, but I think that he knew that he was going to get in. He probably didn't want to announce it first, but I think that his wife and his besties said, let's just do it now. Because usually they take a while to like announce like who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Like last year, they didn't say anything to damn near March.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
So
I mean,
I think that
dead ass. This is what Chilla with Chase said. Triple H, the kind of guy to invite himself to his own surprise party. Safet, I gotta call bullshit on this because Nick Khan has been on record in saying that he makes no decisions in regards to WWE in regards to anything that's gonna be on the camera. All he does is the stuff as far as like business deals. If you want to say, I think Nick Khan made the call for Raw to go to Netflix. That's a correct assessment. I think Nick Khan made the call for NXT to go to CW. That's a correct assessment. To say Nick Khan made the call to put Triple H in the Hall of Fame, then Triple H can tell you, hey, I'm going to sell you a piece of my dick and you're going to pay $1 million for it. I'm sorry, like I don't understand why people believe the bullshit that they tell us. Like it's quite obvious bullshit, yet you're gonna believe it and regurgitate it and be like, I think Nick Khan is the reason. No, that's the reason they want you to believe. Don't say I think. That's the reason they told you to believe. Just say I'm gonna believe what WWE told me and Nick Khan made the call. Okay, cool, that's fine. But don't say I think like this is a unique thought that you had. No, it's a thought that was placed in your head by a fucking machine. Just saying. And yes, Wrestling Lowdown Show, you are in fact correct. He is already in the Hall of Fame as a member of DX. So because Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are in there separately, they just thought that it would be like, okay, well, we'll put you in there separately too. Is that what it is? I mean, in fact, that the Undertaker is not a part of any faction, but yeah, and this is I don't want anyone to be confused. I'm not saying that Triple H doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, he does. 14-time world champion, one of the greatest heels in WWE history. All these contributions to the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, the people that he helped make their career, like Randy Orton, Batista. His connection to Shawn Michaels, the rivalry, Michaels, Undertaker, all that, The Rock, all that stuff. Yeah, he is definitely
all of those things. You have to, yes, his career deserves it. Absolutely. That's not what we're saying, though. What we're saying is that the optics look horrible when you are in charge of the Hall of Fame for 2 years. And the first year, you put in the guy that basically has been writing your best storyline and the reason why your company is a success and you're viewed as a success at your job in Paul Heyman. And then the second year you choose yourself. Optics wise, it looks like he is a self-congratulatory asshole. So is he going to wear a black jacket like how Paul Heyman did? Because, that was kind of his gimmick too. Just saying.
He better come out with the leather jean jacket. I'm with it.
Yeah. I'm with it. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, again.
Also that one, Chase. Also that one, because Ray did say that in an interview. He said Triple H knows who's going to go into the Hall of Fame 2 years in advance. Rey Mysterio. When Ray went in 2023, he said that Triple H told him about it the year before.
Oh, see.
So he's known all of this. So after last year's WrestleMania, where we were supposed to see celebrating two things, Miss Krssi Love, at last year's WrestleMania. A couple of things. We were supposed to be celebrating Paul Heyman being in the Hall of Fame, and we were supposed to be celebrating Cody Rhodes finishing his story. Mm-hmm. How did both of those things become Triple H getting jacked off on national TV? Paul Heyman spent 10 minutes of his Hall of Fame speech basically jerking off Triple H for everyone to see about how much he turned this company around. And then Cody Rhodes, instead of sharing the ring with some of his best friends in the business and his family, said, oh no, I want Triple H to come out here because it's all about Triple H. He's the real hero here. He's the one finishing his fucking story. And then we turn around the next year and now we got to celebrate him again? God damn. And the reason why I'm so, why you might be like, oh my God, SB3, calm down. It's not that serious. Why are you so upset? You know why I'm so upset, Krssi Love? It's because I feel like the only motherfucker who's saying this shit. Like, I feel like everybody else is just like, oh yeah, it's great, Triple H. Oh, thank you. We never give you the spotlight, Triple H. We never. They had to pull your arm to go out there for every fucking takeover when you were in charge of NXT. They pushed you out there when you had to kick off the Raw after Netflix. So Nick Khan forced you into the Hall of Fame. Like all this bullshit. Like, why does it have to come with all this bullshit? Just keep it real with me. Then I won't be upset. If he doesn't come with this stuff that is quite obviously him booking people to praise him. But then he tries to play it off like, oh no, I didn't do that. Oh, I was forced into it. They forced me to be a fucking self-congratulatory piece of shit. Cocksucker. Fucking hey,
I think, and then the fact that he opened up the Raw on Netflix just shows you that he just puts his dick on the table. But like I said, he probably didn't know that they were going to do it at that point in time, but he knew he was going to get in there.
Yeah.
Now that's why his face was just like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, I know this is going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen like right now.
Yeah, it's a little too soon. It's a little too soon, in my opinion. We got Chuck Berries. He says, what's the term Top Guy JJ mentioned? Dick on the table? This sounds like Triple H's dick on the table moment. His dick on the table moment combined with all the other dick on the table moments he's had since he became in charge. God damn. We got Jaleel who says Triple H didn't make. I make beats. Who says Triple H didn't make the call. Paul Levesque did.
I see what you did there. I make beats.
Now you're thinking.
Listen,
you're thinking, sir.
I think he deserves being in there. He's already in there, but I guess him as a solo person on like what he's done, Evolution, all those people, all those groups. Is Evolution in? No, Evolution is not in it.
Nope. Right, Evolution's not in the Hall of Fame. That's why Armand is right on point. He says this won't be the last time Triple H gets into the Hall of Fame. He will get in when Evolution gets in. It won't surprise me if the Clique, Triple H, HBK, Nash, and Hall get in as a faction. Yeah. It won't surprise me if the Authority get in as a faction so they can give Stephanie McMahon more than one Hall of Fame ring.
She's in it already too?
No, they'll probably get her in too by herself. That's what I'm saying. It's just weird.
Oh, wait, so who was on there?
People don't realize that we are just setting us up on a roll of just congratulating Triple H and Stephanie for the next decade.
Who was in the Authority? It was him, his wife, and who else?
Seth Rollins, the J&J Security, and Randy Orton, and Big Show.
Oh, fuck that shit. We don't need that in it. We really don't need that in it. We dead now. Everyone else, yes. That one,
Bell,
we don't need that.
Bell, the Clique is not in the Hall of Fame. DX and the NWO and Four Horsemen are the only factions in the Hall of Fame right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I want. Wrestling Lowdown Show. That's actually really all I want. He says, would you like Triple H to admit he is doing all of this because he had a health scare? So that's why he's doing doing all this now. Yeah. If he said that, then I won't be as angry. I promise. I wouldn't be as angry. If you just say, I think I might die tomorrow, so I have to do this now. Okay, cool. Go ahead. No sweat off my back. You know, you're worried about dying. I understand. Sure. But then you got, oh yeah, you're right. Kane was in the Authority as well. John Cena, on the other hand, he returned to
About this
WWE
nigga? Oh God. Okay.
at the beginning of the month to kick off his retirement tour and announce his entry into this year's Royal Rumble. However, he hasn't been seen on TV since to help to build to the event, which happens tonight. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Cena has been filming Matchbox based on the toy brand. It has been generally accepted in WWE that part-timers at least appear on television the week before the show they are appearing on. Cena has not was not advertised and did not appear on last night's SmackDown, and instead the focus on TV has been mainly focused on CM Punk, which kind of falls in line with our point earlier that the Royal Rumble it's been about 3 guys with only one of the guy doing the work. So there you go.
I mean,
and they were all in the middle of that poster too.
Yeah, they are. Put the poster up. The one at the top, in the middle.
One at the top, you do the work, and the two at the bottom, you just here to be the stars. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. We'll out the way. But now it's time for our rapid fire rundown of all the names being speculated for this year's Royal Rumble. Are you ready, Miss Krssi Love?
I'm ready. Ready like Freddy.
Wild and reckless Royal Rumble speculation begins now. Fightful Select with an update on names who could possibly be in line for surprise appearances at the Royal Rumble. As previously reported, WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella was reportedly in talks for a WWE return. According to Fightful's report, Bella's name was discussed among talent as a possible entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Fightful Select also reported that Nikki Bella is in the city for tonight's event. It's unknown if she will take part in the Royal Rumble matchup itself, make an appearance, or is just there to visit. A lot of wrestlers and WWE legends are in town for WrestleCon as well. With regards to former WWE star Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, Fightful reports that there are people outside of WWE claiming that he's planned for a WWE appearance. Fightful notes that this is not yet confirmed. Cardona is not under WWE contract, but he will reportedly be in town in Indianapolis this weekend for WrestleCon. Other names who are in town for WrestleCon but not currently under WWE contract are the Dudley Boys, Chavo Guerrero, The Godfather, The Headbangers, JBL, Riddick Moss, Rhino, Matt Riddle, and Rob Van Dam. Women's wrestlers who are in town include the Iconics, Indy Hartwell, Maki Ito, Mickie James, ODB, and Victoria. Fightful also reports that Bronson Reed is still currently injured and using a scooter after suffering a broken foot. As a fan, should not expect him to make a surprise appearance in the Rumble. In terms of other injured superstars, the Good Brothers have Carl Anderson is also expected to be out past WrestleMania, and he will reportedly not be in Indianapolis. If fans are hoping for a surprise appearance from Big E, Fightful notes that there's been no information that suggests he's been cleared to return to the ring. PW Insider via Fightful reports that WWE is hopeful that AJ Styles will be at the Royal Rumble tonight. Fightful Select also reports that WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle has been told people close to him that WWE contacted him to take part in something related to this weekend's Royal Rumble. However, it is unknown if this was the Royal Rumble match itself or something else. He is set for WrestleCon, which is also taking place in Indianapolis. According to a report by Fightful Select, as first reported by PW Insider, another talent who is in Indianapolis is Omos. Omos is reportedly expected to be brought in for the Rumble this weekend. Fightful also notes that Omos's name has been discussed for the Men's Rumble and has not yet been confirmed as one of the entrants. Omos reportedly impressed WWE officials with his recent work in Pro Wrestling Noah, along with his willingness to go to Japan, where he recently captured the GHC heavyweight tag team titles. He has not appeared on WWE television since April of 2024, where he competed in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown. WWE has primarily used Omos for media appearances, and as previously reported, Omos recently relinquished the GAC Tag Team Championships and announced his pending return to WWE a few days ago. A new report had a spoiler on Jordynne Grace. Fightful Select has confirmed that despite her saying she won't be in town, Jordynne Grace is planned for the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. So So much for that. As previously reported as well, a contract dispute reportedly delayed plans for Alexa Bliss. Fightful Select reports that creative plans have been discussed for Bliss, but her status for this week is unknown. The report also notes that Stephanie Vicaire has been discussed for the matchup, though her participation is not yet confirmed. The report also notes that there are surprises planned for the Women's Royal Rumble matchup, various ones from NXT and TNA. Additionally, Fightful Select reports that Pat McAfee has been a name multiple talents backstage expect to appear in the Rumble matchup since it's taking place in Indianapolis. Fightful Select also reports that Valhalla, who has recently been on maternity leave, is not expected to be ready for a surprise return. Another possible spoiler is that Fightful Select says that Roxanne Perez is in town for the Royal Rumble. For clarity, the site is specific that there's no word on whether she's in the matchup or only just in town. And then finally, TNA World Champion Joe Hendry is reportedly scheduled for WrestleCon in Indianapolis this weekend. He will also be working on the Jericho Cruise, but only starting on February 3rd. That means he'd be potentially available for the Rumble. Other TNA wrestling talents who are in town for the Rumble are Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Masha Slamovich, Jake Something, Killer Kelly, Steve Macklin, Casey Navarra. They are scheduled for tomorrow's pro wrestling or yesterday's Pro Wrestling Revolver Square Game event, which was scheduled for Indianapolis. So let's put some percentage on these people. Let's start off with Jordan Grace. I think she's at 100%.
For sure.
Omos,
for sure.
Omos 100%.
Yeah, Omar's been doing really, really good. So I agree.
Roxanne Perez, 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Joe Hendry, 100%.
100%. Yeah, especially with this TNA stuff. Yes, 100%. Masha Slamovich, 100%.
I'm gonna put 90. There's a chance that maybe they don't put her in, but I'm gonna put it at 90. You put it at 100.
I got her at 100% too. Why not have her be there? You got to have fillers. We need 30 women, so you know.
What about Stephanie Vicaire?
100%. Roxanne Perez, 100%. All of them. All of the above.
I'm gonna put Stephanie Vicaire at 85.
Really? Why?
Because I always feel like there is like the balance of too many surprises.
Okay.
It's a law.
But is that a surprise though? That's not really. Yeah. I don't consider that a surprise because. Okay, well, all right.
I do.
Because she's already in the outside people, like as in TNA. I feel like those are surprises. The people that
I feel anyone from NXT or TNA is a surprise.
Okay, fair.
Do you think that even though he's told people he was axed and is not coming, is that just a wrestler being a wrestler? Is Kurt Angle going to be in the Rumble? What do you put the percentage on?
No.
0?
0.
I'm going to say, 25%. 25. AJ Styles, I'll go 60.
I was going to say 70.
Big E, unfortunately, 0.
0. I think he doesn't want to chance it. I think he's probably afraid, or they just still won't clear him.
Iconics. I'll put him at 15.
I would love to see them, but I don't know. 25.
The Dudley Boys. I'm going to put them at 40%.
30.
Matt Cardona, 75.
I would love to see Matt Cardona in this. And also, I would love to see him come back. Because him and his wife, mid-card champions, hilarious. Book it.
That would be great.
80%.
Then we got Nikki Bella. I got to go 100%.
Yeah, she's going to be in it.
We got
to be there probably, but whatever.
Got a couple of comments here. We got Senior Nerd who says, what percentage you give for Alexa Bliss returning in the Rumble tonight?
0.
I'm going to say 15%. there is a chance WWE worked out a deal with her.
You would hope so, but no.
And then I saved the best for last because we got Wrestling Lowdown Show here, Krssi, who asks, what about AJ Lee? This past week, there's been a big push for AJ Lee to be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. We're 1 year out from CM Punk's return to WWE. CM Punk has teased the chance of AJ Lee being part of the Royal Rumble. I'm going to put her at 10%.
10%. Let's say 20. I would love to see her get in there, but I doubt it. But 20%.
20%.
15. Just 15.
15. That's fair. Got a whole bunch of people playing our 0 to 100% game in the chat, so we'll feature a couple of them here. We got Christopher, who says 100%. I don't know who he's talking about. Chase is saying Grace at 100%. Omos at 100%. Okay. Roxanne at 200%. We got I Beats, who says hope Roxy gets a good showing tonight. Probs gets eliminated by Bailey. We got Belle, who said 100% on all so far. Then we got Joe Hendry at 500% early in the matchup for Chase. Belle puts Masha at 95%. Chase gives her 90%. Belle gives 90% to Stephanie, while Chase gives 80% to Stephanie. We got Eric Isaacs, who says Hendry and Masha will be in the Royal Rumble. We got 40% and 30% for Kurt Angle. 70% from Chase for AJ Styles, 35% for Big E. Belle gives 60% for AJ Styles, 50% for the Iconics. And we got Chase, who gives 90% for Cardona. Belle's at 20%. And then we got a 700% and 100% for Nikki Bella. While Chase gives 100% for AJ Lee and Belle gives 30%, but not expecting it at all for AJ Lee. There we go. This would be hilarious. LeVay says Tessa Blanchard for Black History Month. Krssi did not find that funny. That's what made it more hilarious. But finally, from WWE. From WWE. Yeah, WWE NXT this week. Huge rating, Krssi Love. They did 822,000 viewers. Their biggest viewership yet. The show from Atlanta, Georgia featured Bianca Belair and Naomi defeating Metaphors, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson in a damn good main event to retain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. You also had Oba Femi appeared on the Grayson Waller effect, which led to the fans rallying behind Austin Theory to turn on Grayson Waller. Oba then challenged A-Town Down Under to a triple threat for the NXT Championship at Vengeance Day. This pissed off Trick Williams, who stormed to the ring. He fought off Theory and Waller, but then he was laid out by Oba with the fall from Grace. This led to Trick getting himself disqualified against Wes Lee after going ballistics with a steel chair. Fallon Henley beat Shotzi to retain the NXT Women's North American Championship. Post-match, she got into a confrontation with Stephanie Vicaire to set up their Vengeance Day title match, while Bayley picked up the victory with Julia over Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade in a good opener to the show. Good show from Atlanta this week, but it's not the end of NXT going on the road, as WWE is looking to hold a taping of NXT on March 11th from the theater in Madison Square Garden. Fightful Select confirms that this is indeed the plan, as the date is listed on WWE's internal schedule. It also reports that WWE is looking to hold an NXT event on the road on April 22nd. A location has not been decided yet. All other episodes will be at WWE Performance Center. But man, CW fucking robbed WWE. They paid them $25 million a year for this. $25 million. They've outperformed that already with their ratings.
Yeah. And the theater of Madison Square Garden is like of arenas, pinnacles. Like, I don't know how they're gonna lay it out, because the layout is just I don't know what they're gonna do, but that's something big. But yeah, CW has already gotten like they got all their money's worth already.
They got away with fucking gangbusters. WWE is set to have a new show premiering as Evolve will be returning under the WWE banner. Bodyslam.net Corey Hayes reports that WWE will hold tapings for the new project on February 7th at the WWE Performance Center. No word as of yet which talents may take part in the tapings, and WWE has yet to announce them. The company filed to trademark Evolve on Thursday. And finally, a new report had an update on Meiko Satomura's WWE status as she prepared for an in-ring retirement. As previously reported, Satomura announced she would retire on April 29th, just over 30 years after her first match. Satomura has been signed to WWE since 2020, and Fightful Select reports that people in NXT believe that her July 2024 match with Bayley at a live event was her swan song for WWE. The report does not say whether she is not still under WWE contract. She is set to compete at the February 23rd Progress at My Own Destiny event, and a booking that was described as unsurprising to those within the company. So shout out to Meiko Satomura closing the book on what has been a storied career. But that is all for us with WWE this week. We're moving over to AEW. This week's AEW Dynamite did just over 600,000 viewers. The show featured Will Ospreay defeating Brian Cage in an awesome opener to the show. Post-match, the Murder Machines jumped Ospreay until a beaten down Kenny Omega made the save. However, the numbers of the Don Callis family got the better of our heroes as Takeshita and Fletcher stood tall over their opponents at Grand Slam. Mercedes Moné beat Yuka Sakazaki in a pretty fun main event to retain the TBS championship. Meanwhile, Hangman Adam Page went looking for Swerve Strickland for some reason and ran into MJF again as they teased that potential rivalry. Ricochet defeated AR Fox in a splendid bout. For post-match, Strickland attacked his rival until Ricochet held Fox hostage to escape with the gold scissors. Mariah May cut a very good promo in response to the return of Timeless Toni Storm on Collision ahead of Grand Slam. You also had Claudio Castagnoli needing the help of Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta to pick up a victory over Jeff Jarrett for some goddamn reason. Post-match, MJF came out and punched Jarrett with the Dynamite Diamond ring. Then later in the show, you had Switchblade Jay White picked up a win over the Death Riders Wheeler Yuta in a good bout. Post-match, White hit the Blade Runner on Yuta until the Death Riders attacked him. Eventually, Rated FTR made the save, and FTR challenged the D-Riders in a Mid-South street fight on tonight's Collision. Also from Huntsville, I believe Huntsville, Alabama was the location of Dynamite and Collision this week. But I will before we get into Dynamite this week and a Dynamite very heavily focused on by the Death Riders, we should note this week they did try to change the direction or change the trajectory of the Death Riders, as in an interview with Renee Paquette for Up Close, Jon Moxley gave some explanation for his actions in All Elite Wrestling in recent months, noting that he wants to create 1,000 Jon Moxleys. Moxley turned heel last year and created the Death Rider stable. They've been running wild in the main event scene, and he's the current AEW World Champion. He said in the interview, everyone has questions. They are not prepared for the answers. We are one mistake away, one bad decision away from setting this business back 20 years. Who is to take the responsibility for that? I bear all the consequences around here. I take all the bullets around here. I will bear the responsibility for everything. My generation, Claudio's generation, Pac's generation, our generation, all across the world in professional wrestling. We inherited a nuclear wasteland, and we built it up year after year into the business you see today. We are one mistake away from going back to ground zero. Who is going to take responsibility for that? Who is going to point the fingers at who on that day? I'll take responsibility for it. My vision is not one Jon Moxley. My vision is 1,000 Jon Moxleys. I want to backfill this place. I want it to last for 20 years, long after I'm dead, long after I'm gone. That is something worth doing. That is something I was sold on. That is why I came here. This was supposed to be for wrestlers by wrestlers. This was about the beauty, the art, the craft of professional wrestling. What we've done here every single day with the Blackpool Combat Club and beyond, what we've been about since day one in every town we've written to, and every rinky-dink arena and every depleted ring we've wrestled in over the last 20 years, that's what we're about. That's what this place was supposed to be about. I mean, this was good. It was a good interview. No, don't get me wrong. It was a good interview. It got over the characters very well. It was just like 3 months too late. It's like I watched the whole thing. It was like a 20-minute interview on AEW's YouTube channel. I watched the whole thing and I was like, that was good. Too little, too late, though.
Definitely too little, too late. They should have sold us or did this a long time ago. But I'm like, I got to see more. Like, we either pulling the trigger or are we just gonna I think it might be too late though.
It's too late. It's over. The Death Riders thing is over. It's over. It's like they've been half-assing this shit since Full Gear, and it's been quite obvious. And whether they realize it or not, the entire Death Riders angle is dragging this place down. The perception of AEW, I don't think, has been worse than right now. And yes, I'm including Brawl Out. Because even around Brawl Out, we had great things on television to take solace in. There is like when your main event scene is just so damaged the way that it is with this Death Riders angle, and the fact that it doesn't look like AEW is really pivoting in the right direction towards the people that the people will get invested in, that the people will come back for, it's just dragging everything down in the process.
Sad to say, but true. Yeah, sad to say, but true. I mean, I was hoping that it would give them something. I mean, I didn't get anything out of it. I was like, okay, whatever. But I mean, I would hope that it did something for others, but I guess not. But what are we gonna do?
I talked about it on Thursday with Jimmy that it did a good job of like giving everybody the reason why they're in the Death Riders.
But they should have been did that part. That's what you said. That's like
it was nice. It was good, but I was just like, this would have been
and they probably heard us complaining about like why they haven't done it, and that's probably why he said something now. But that means nothing. So.
Don't mean anything. It's fine. It's fine. You didn't need to do that because it doesn't matter now. It's over. We need to move on. Apparently, yeah, he told us to shut up and enjoy the ride, even though the ride is horrible. And I want to get off. I want to get off the ride. Please let me off the ride. Please get me off of here.
That's what they're saying.
Davion says, every time I hear the Death Riders theme, my heart cries inside. God damn.
Even the music is bad.
The music is like this droning sound. It's like, oh shit, here we go. The show got worse. Yes, Davion, we're politely asking Tony Khan. We ask you again, pivot from this monstrosity of a storyline, man. Yes, please. Please. I want to enjoy AEW. I want AEW to be around. But the D-Riders ain't it. D-Riders ain't it. It ain't it at all. And it's only basically maximizing all the other issues that's wrong with this place. It's because this story is so bad, and it's the main event focus.
The D-Riders.
The D-Riders. Right in the D. We got Chuck Berries with a super chat donation. So much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, if Dynamite is your premier A show, why is Timeless Toni Storm? She's on Collision tonight, competing with the Rumble. Make it make sense. I think that
she's not the. Oh.
They do have to do stuff to make Collision a watchable
Watchable.
show. Yeah, they do have to do stuff. I think that you can ask the reason why they didn't do the Timeless Toni Storm angle on Dynamite instead of Collision, but Timeless Toni Storm being on Collision is adding star power to Collision. That's not something to complain about.
You remember the transition of the character as well, so
Yes.
kind of gotta like put her like she thinks that she's not Timeless Toni Storm, like she's still
we saw what happened on Collision last week. Now we've revealed that she was playing a role this whole time.
Hence why I'm saying, like, you're right. Hence why she thinks that like she's just in like this like role of like. Hence why she has to be on Collision. So it's okay. It's all about all a part of her gimmick. Like you got to like.
I double down on this fact. The world title is way too beautiful to be in a briefcase. That's also an issue with this whole angle.
Well, I mean, what's his name was carrying his championship in a book bag, but that was a mid-card title, so
So my question to you, Miss Krssi Love, is the Death Riders the worst AEW storyline of all time?
Is it the worst?
I'll give you some other candidates. We'll give you some other candidates.
I don't think it's the worst though. I think it's one of the worst, but it's not the worst.
We got the Devil storyline. The Devil storyline that revealed Undisputed Kingdom and with MJF and all the stupid attacks.
I think that might be one of them. Yeah, that's worse.
We had the Nightmare Collective, which was Brandy Rhodes leading her own stable with Awesome Kong and Mel, where they attack people.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
We got, I'm trying to think of any, what's the other really bad storylines AEW's had? The Firm, which was the stable made up by MJF, but was led by Stokely Hathaway and only lasted like a month with Ethan Page, the Guns, and I don't even know the other members because it didn't last that long. Yeah. True. And then there's Chris Jericho.
Maybe the
Chris Jericho and the different variations of the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle, the Jericho Appreciation Society, the Learning Tree.
It's the same thing, just different names.
It's just the same thing. He just renames it and finds new people.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's the same gimmick, just different names. Yeah.
Oh, and then one more to add to the list: the Elite Takeover storyline.
See, the Elite wasn't as okay. The Elite was
honestly, the Elite. Honestly, out of the ones I named, the Elite is the most inoffensive out of all of them.
Right, I'm about to say the Elite. I don't think they're the worst one. No, I think maybe the Brandy Rhodes one was probably the worst, or Chris Jericho just naming several different factions underneath his circle. But it's the same thing. The Devil storyline did suck, though. It was really bad. But I think other things sucked even worse than that. They all sucked. Every one of them all are up there as worse. But some things are just worse than the others.
I think the Devil. I think the Death Riders is worse than every one of them.
Friend, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad, but I think the other stuff was better.
What do you think is worse? What, Jericho? Jericho coming out with a stable with a different name for a stable and dragging stuff down. He does it in the mid card.
Yeah.
This is the main event. This is the top title. This is Jon Moxley, who's been nothing but a positive to AEW. And now he's talked about as one of like the most negative people in AEW, or one of the most negative elements of AEW. Claudio Castagnoli was viewed as this was the place he needed to be when he signed here in 2022. Now he's a part of this stable. Pac has always been one of the top favorite wrestlers for everybody. Now he's a part of this shit. The only person who's getting anything out of this is Wheeler Yuta because he's getting heat for it, and Marina Shafir because she has a role on TV. That's it.
Who put the picture of Wheeler Yuta in the cartoon character? That is spot on. That I wish we had that right now. Oh my god, that is so good. So fucking, because I was like, when did he let his hair grow out and just all over his face like this when they became a part of this like group that didn't give a fuck?
Yep. To be fair, Alex Powell, the Devil storyline doesn't start until after Cole gets injured.
Yeah, because
So
they couldn't do anything with Cole.
You can't include the Summer of Better Than You Baby into the story. That's not a part of it. This starts afterwards. But yeah, it's not a good look. Not a good look right now for the Death Riders. But any extra thoughts about Dynamite this week?
Nope.
This was the worst episode for me so far this year.
The year just started, though, friend.
Yeah, out of the 5 weeks we've seen, this is the worst. I gotta set the bar. When I say something is the best or worst, and it's like January or February, that means the bar is being set. The bar is being set for these things.
Oy vey. Okay.
We got more bad news for AEW as the clusterfuck that has been Grand Slam Australia continues. AEW Grand Slam Australia is
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. AEW Grand Slam Australia is set for next month, although there has been some confusion over what time it will air. It was originally advertised for February 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT and Max. However, TNT will have coverage of the NBA All-Star Weekend, which would interfere with that. PW Insider reports that the show will air at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time that Saturday, depending on when the NBA coverage wraps up. It will replace that week's Collision and is scheduled to run for 2 hours. It will not be live, as it will be taped earlier in the day due to time difference. This is a fucking clusterfuck. This shit started off as a stadium pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it was announced as when it was first announced at All In last year. It went from stadium pay-per-view level show to an arena pay-per-view level show to fucking Collision pay-per-view, no, to freaking Max Special arena show to a fucking Collision arena show. That's not even aired live at the usual time for Collision. You don't air it live, which is the smartest thing to do, especially since it's going to be on a streaming service. You could air it live and then replay it on TNT after All-Star Weekend. But no, they're not rocket scientists here. They're doing it on a 21-hour tape delay. This is just a horrible management of this.
Can someone go? I think we need to get Tony Khan. I think he's trapped in the time warp. Like get out. Like he needs help. Let's blink if you need help, sir. Because like right now you're throwing this company into a terrible. That this company could be so big and so good, and you already got the Max deal. Like why get the Max deal and then make it worse? Like what did you work so hard for? Because now you're making like people.
It really feels like he's just been coasting since he got the deal. I guess where we're at, ladies and gentlemen, where we're at. Davion saying AEW Dynamite more like AEW Wednesday Night Heat. This week's AEW Dynamite was not good. It was not a good time. Not a good time. Not a good time. But moving on here, we got a couple of final news notes for AEW before we get into Collision last Saturday. At the AEW Full Gear in November, Bobby Lashley pulled off a dominant victory over former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. While it appeared Strickland was in the midst of a big feud with Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate, AEW has since pivoted, putting Swerve against Ricochet, and Lashley and Shelton Benjamin went after the AEW World Tag Team titles, winning the titles last Wednesday. During Saturday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer commented on AEW's rumor plans for resuming the Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland feud. According to Meltzer, AEW has decided to table the feud for now, but they plan on going back to Lashley versus Strickland later on in the year. The plan will reportedly see the feud resume in a few months, but it remains to be seen how things will play out. Do you think that was the right decision to table the Lashley and Swerve rivalry so Swerve could feud with Ricochet and Hurt Syndicate could go for the tag team titles?
Because again, you can't do both. So you need them. They just got the tag title, so you have to focus on them as well. You got Shelton, so you have to focus on them being the team first, and then we can table Swerve and them. I mean, you can't push everything now because everything has a timeline. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. I think it was. I think it was.
Lash and him not going anywhere for a while. So yeah.
I agree because of how good the Swerve and Ricochet feud has been, and the fact that the Hurt Syndicate big win last. It was helpful for everybody.
It is helpful, and again, give Ricochet a shine that he needs. He's been there a little longer than the other guys, so he needs this feud to make him like this heel that's like hot and like he's this geeky like nerd but trying to be cool. I don't know, but it's working for him and it's making him over. Like use the things that don't work for you and make them work right now. Like he wasn't good on the mic, but now he's getting better on the mic. So you gotta get those things, make him better.
Facts. And finally for AEW, you had Powerhouse Hobbs. He's revealed that he wasn't cleared to travel to this week's AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, featuring in a video with Hobbs noting that he was not cleared after the brawl with Big Bill on Collision. Hobbs noted that he isn't done with Bill and that he took Bill to hell and that it's just the beginning for them. A new report has additional details on Powerhouse Hobbs not being cleared for this week's Dynamite. Fightful Select reports that Hobbs not being cleared is legitimate and not a work, as he had stitches that were not yet healed. Hobbs was informed that he needed an additional week before he was cleared. Hobbs was deeply factored into this week's Dynamite and Collision, and the latter of which was taped on Wednesday, and a number of changes were made as a result. Meanwhile, Saraya has confirmed the status of her AEW contract, noting that she is currently under contract until September. The AEW stars took to TMZ and was asked about her current contract status. She said, "My contract is up with AEW in September, so I don't know. Maybe I'll stay with them, maybe not. I don't know." On a potential return to WWE, she said, "Yeah, I love WWE. I appreciate everybody there. They made me, they gave me my career, and I'm appreciative of that. One day, who knows? I love my time in AEW, though." Yeah, Saraya's going to be back in one day.
One day, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's later this year. I wouldn't.
As long as we don't do.
Did Krssi freeze? Or is she? Yep, she's frozen. Krssi freeze right when she was about to make a point, because you could see she's almost getting that point through, but then she got froze because of the internet and the Wi-Fi's. Blame them. Blame those mofos. We got Davion in the chat who says TK making stuff harder than it needs to be. Yep. Story of AEW over the last year, especially. And look at me, I'm solo now. Look at that. Producer, you better jump on. You better not run yet. Nah, I'm just kidding. I can hold down the fort. AEW Collision Homecoming was last Saturday. The show did 260 plus thousand viewers, and the show was mostly about the big segment on the show, which had Toni Storm meeting Mariah May for the first time ahead of Grand Slam in what turned out to be one of the very best Collision segments in recent history. After being attacked by Mariah May, Storm would later reveal herself to be timeless Toni Storm all along, before saying that she is timeless Toni Storm and she will rip Mariah's tits off come Grand Slam. Konosuke Takeshita, meanwhile, he picked up a win over Kasusori Shibata in an excellent encounter to retain the AEW International Championship. Yuka Sakazaki beat Deonna Purrazzo, Serena Deeb, and Queen Amanada to become the number one contender for the TBS Championship. Undisputed Kingdom defeated Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic, and Cool Hand Ange in a fun trios bout. Samoa Joe got a win in his in-ring return over Nick Wayne in the opener. Kazuchika Okada beat Commander in a rock-solid champion versus champion matchup. But really, one of the other highlights of the show, besides Timeless Toni Storm's return to AEW, was Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill. They got into two separate pull-apart brawls that featured bricks, handcuffs, and ended with Hobbs delivering a belly-to-belly suplex through a table off the stage. This was absolute mayhem, destruction throughout, and really kind of put over both guys in a major way, man. I really enjoyed Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs' contributions to this show, and this made for, honestly, the best Collision in quite some time. I've really liked Collision since the Continental Classic started in December. I thought they were putting together some good television, including that one from the Hammerstein Ballroom, which featured Ricochet versus Will Ospreay and stuff like that. But this one felt like the best one in regards to building towards Dynamite on Wednesday, building towards Grand Slam with the Timeless Toni Storm angle. They also did a nice little vignette with the Don Callis family, which they teased a potential 6th member of the group. So further building to that Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay versus Takeshita and Fletcher matchup coming up on February 15th. So yeah, building up, and Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill look like stars. Timeless Toni Storm looks like a star. Mariah May looks like a star. How can you have this type of show in Jacksonville, Florida at Daly's Place and then turn around and give us the shit that we saw on Wednesday? This is why this week's Ramble was named A Tale of Two AEWs, because it really feels sometimes like you're watching two different promotions. It does not feel like it's one distinct promotion that is always here. Sometimes they're the good promotion, sometimes they're the bad promotion. So I don't understand how we can get this show on Wednesday and then turn around and get the shit that we saw on Wednesday. Get the shit we saw on Saturday, which was one of the better Collisions, and then turn around and give us the worst Dynamite since like Title Tuesday last October. There she is.
See how the devil works, yo? Want me to be great?
They always trying to hold you down. Hold a good sister down. That's how they do.
Yep.
That's how they do.
Yep.
Any thoughts on last Wednesday's Collision, especially the Timeless Toni Storm reveal?
Great stuff. Again, I just love the banana that's the onion that's being peeled, the layers of Toni Storm. We knew what was happening, but we didn't know how it was going to be executed. And the execution is going great so far.
Yeah. This was really well done. Did not make a lot of sense for her to reveal herself after she got her ass kicked by Mariah May. But when you cut a promo that good, I can ignore that not making sense.
Correct. Exactly.
Like that part did not make sense, but that promo was the best promo. That set the bar on best promo of the year for me. At the bar. We're setting the bars today. That's what we're doing.
Very
folks.
Very high. Okay.
Set the bar right there. So great stuff by Timeless Toni Storm. There we got Dion, who acts in the chat. Would WWE clear Paige? Probably not. That would be the one obstacle to a Paige return in WWE. They're very particular on who they clear or not. And then we got Davion, who says Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May 2 is finna be a movie. And yeah, I saw earlier Davion said, how are there only 2 matches on the show announced with 2 weeks left? Is because you don't really need any other 2 matches when you got Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, and you got Toni Storm returning to Australia to get back the AEW Women's World Title. That right there, that's the show. That's the show. Everything else is just an addition. Just additional.
It's just happening around them, but they are the show.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, he's done? Okay.
So,
he's done.
Yeah, he's off. He's off. He hit the 3 hour limit. But some rapid fire AEW news notes. The WrestleNomics had a report that the AEW is set to offer its upcoming pay-per-view events on Amazon Prime Video, which would expand its audience in North America and Europe. With neither AEW nor Prime have confirmed the news at this time. It is likely that those wanting to buy AEW events on the service will not need to become Prime members. Prime currently offers movies for rent or purchase without a subscription, which is likely what would happen here. AEW's next pay-per-view event is Revolution on March 9th. It is currently set to air on Triller TV, pay-per-view.com, and YouTube. At some point, Max is expected to offer the AEW pay-per-views for a reduced price, but it's unknown when that will happen. Meanwhile, you got some stars who have been off television for a while. As previously reported, Rush and Dralistico have not appeared on AEW TV since November 2024. It was confirmed that they've been absent from AEW programming from an accident on the November 13th Rampage TV taping, where they took liberties with an opponent after the match. There was said to have been heat on Rush and Dralistico for getting physical with Richard Holiday while he was being checked on. Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez commented on the situation during Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio. According to Meltzer and Alvarez, rather than officially suspending the LFI wrestlers, AEW simply chose not to use them on TV right now. It's unknown when the wrestlers will be brought back to TV. Meltzer speculated that Rush will be brought back eventually, which should be on tonight's Collision. So stay tuned for that one.
Interesting.
AEW also signed, of course, the new deal with Warner Brothers Discovery at the end of last year, which began in January, included AEW content on the Max streaming service. FIFO Select reports that several changes have been made to production since the new deal was signed. For starters, there is more pyro on television, as featured in Kenny Omega's recent entrance on AEW television. The LED boards have returned in combination with regular barricades. The show is also said to be lit better due to the increased budget. The merchandise stand at the show in Cincinnati was described as far beyond anything they've ever brought to the city prior. So, hey, these are little notes that we have made a bigger deal about it because we have been to AEW shows and been disappointed by like the merch stand and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I saw like even when they did the whole Daddy Magic 30-second merch madness, I'm like, if that's a cool merch stand, that's the most merch I've ever seen for AEW in one place ever.
I mean, yeah. Because they don't usually have like really good selections at all. So
they don't have more than like 3 wrestlers represented with merchandise.
Like when they go to Grand Slam, it's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, every time.
Oh, each floor is the same shit.
We got some breaking news here from Safat, who says PW Insider Elite said that Alexa Bliss is not in Indianapolis. She is in Orlando for her husband that is performing in Orlando.
Safat, thank you. We appreciate that, but we told you that she wasn't coming since last week.
Yeah, because they're not working out the deal. Like it's basically both sides made good points in the deal. In this deal, it's like Alexa, like my life done changed. I'm a mother now. Y'all gonna need to pay me more to come back. And WWE's like, we got Rhea Ripley, we got Liv Morgan, we got Bianca Belair, we got Io Sky, we got this person, that person. Do we really need Alexa Bliss?
We got Charlotte coming back. We don't need you to. Yeah, I mean,
we got Becky Lynch coming back. Like fuck out of here. We got Nikki Bella coming back. Fuck out of here.
Now, okay, sir.
Nikki Bella, the GOAT.
Okay.
You keep dreaming on the stars above. Let's finish up with the Converse here with ROH TV on Honor Club. The show featured Commander and Lee Johnson going to a 10-minute time limit draw in their ROH World TV title proving ground match. You had Blake Christian picked up another victory over Evil Uno, while Red Velvet defeated Layla Hirsch in another solid bout to retain the Ring of Honor Women's TV title. Finally, what we missed, TNA Impact on Thursday. The show featured Nick and Ryan Nemeth, the Nemeth Brothers, defeating First Class in the main event. Wes Lee beat Ace Austin in a pretty decent bout. Post-match, Lee, Tariq, and Tyson all jumped in until the Rascals came out to make the save. Mustafa Ali picked up the victory over Laredo Kid in a solid bout. Cora Jade made her TNA in-ring debut in a win over Hyan. Post-match, Jade attacked Hyan until Zaya Brookside made the save. When Cora got the better of Zaya, it was Masha Slamovich who came out to make the real save, further teasing a rivalry with the NXT superstar. And then finally, as previously reported, following PCO appearing on the People vs. GCW and smashing TNA's digital media belt, PCO claimed that TNA management lowballed him when it came to a new deal last year. He also imitated that he was not the only one. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the company offered several talents either less pay or planned to switch them to per event deals from the guaranteed deals that they were currently on. The talent were those considered overpaid in deals that Scott D'Amore had signed during his tenure. They included PCO, Rhino, Trent Seven, Kushida, and Jade Chung. All of those people left the promotion at the end of last year when their contracts expired. It was noted that a similar situation happened with the Motor City Machine Guns, who were also close to D'Amore. D'Amore had allegedly promised things to talent, and once he was terminated from the company, the new management decided to not adhere to those promises. PCO was promised the world title at one point, although it's unknown if that was from D'Amore or after. He was said to be expecting it as a reward for selling out a show in Montreal. However, TNA has ended up signing new deals with Nick Nemeth, AJ Francis, Frankie Kazarian, Mustafa Ali, Masha Slamovich, John Schuyler, and Ash by Elegance.
Most of all those people that used to be at WWE.
Basically. So for all those people that's like TNA, man, they're hotter than ever. TNA is the second biggest promotion in pro wrestling. You should probably read that report again, because if they're lowballing people on contract, they're not making as much money as you think they are.
Yep, that part, which is unfortunate. So, hence why they probably had to get the deal with WWE.
To further help them. Yep, further solidify them. That's 100% what I was thinking when I originally read it. Like, oh, that's why you made the deal with WWE. They're a lifeline. But definitely. Let's close things out as we usually do, Miss Krssi Love, with best and worst of the week, our matches of the week, our moment of the week as well. Who do you think, Krssi Love, had the best and worst week this week in pro wrestling?
Best week, I would give to Roman for being on the cover of the video game.
I'm going to give best of the week to CM Punk.
He was my close second.
He was the star on both Raw and SmackDown this week.
That's true.
I give it to Punk. Okay. And then I'm going to go worst of the week, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, for sure. We're in agreement with that. Yes.
Matches of the week this week. I do have 10. We're back to 10, guys. Sorry, we regressed.
It was back. That much of a week.
It was a pretty good week. Nothing like wildly like, oh man, this should have been higher or whatnot or whatever. Like, it was just a modest week with a lot of good matches around the same level to me.
Okay.
That's why I had to get 10 this week. But I went number 10, Fatu and Tama Tonga versus Damian Priest and LA Knight from last night's SmackDown. Then number 9, I got Naomi and Yuka Sakazaki. I got Mercedes Moné and Yuka Sakazaki from AEW Dynamite this week. Then I got number 8, Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza versus DIY and Pretty Deadly from SmackDown last night. Number 7, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax from Saturday night's main event. Number 6, Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Metaphor from NXT. Number 5, Braun Breaker versus Sheamus from Saturday night's main event. Number 4, the War Raiders versus Judgment Day. JD almost dies matchup. Will Ospreay versus Brian Cage from Dynamite is number 3. Number 2, Gunther versus Jey Uso from Saturday Night's main event. Number 1, Konosuke Takeshita versus Shibata from last week's Collision.
Okay. For me, I have 5. 5, Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. 4, ladies and Kawamakasaki. Is that how you say her name?
Yuka Sakazaki.
Yuka Sakazaki. Okay, there you go. Her, that one. That's 4. 3, I will give to Gunther and Jey Uso. 2 is going to be Will Ospreay and damn, who did he go against? Fuck. You just named him. Damn it. I forgot his name.
Takeshita?
No. Will Ospreay didn't go against Takeshi, no?
Oh, Will Ospreay and Brian Cage.
Thank you. There we go. Brian Cage. And then number 1 is Metaphor versus Bianca Belair and Naomi.
Not bad. No, right. Bianca Belair and Naomi. Then moment of the week, I got to give it to Timeless Toni Storm's return.
Yes. Timeless Toni Storm. I agree.
And that is our best and worst moments and match of the week. And finally, we got our rapid fire Royal Rumble predictions. So final call for super chat donations. Oh, that's a good shout, actually. I Make Beats.
What?
He said JD McDonough for best
finishing that match because my God, when he did
he 100% changed his reputation backstage. That's for sure. Like, they look at him like a warrior now. Punctured lung.
Puncture and broken ribs. But mind you, when he did it, they panned the camera to the ring and the ref ran out of the ring because they saw it happen. And then, Pat McAfee and Michael was just like, oh my God, because they heard you. You heard it though. That's the crazy part. You heard when he did it. And
I said, holy shit. I screamed in my house.
And then they replayed it again. They played it like 3 times. And I was like, oh my God.
Why?
Why? I was like, I hope he's okay. Because I watched it. I was like, oh my God, JD. And then who was at the ground that was supposed to like catch him, but they didn't catch him?
Was it Ivar? He like basically bounced off his shoulder.
Yeah. Ivar didn't catch him. I was like, damn. But yeah, for him, and then he kind of like stopped and he went and did another move. He did a moonsault off the rope. I was like, bro, like, what are you doing? But I guess that's the adrenaline. My husband was like, how is he wrestling? I was like, it's the adrenaline. He's just keeping, he has to finish it. You have to finish the match.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but they want to.
I've been convinced by your reaction and the chat. I'm going with JD, not Punk. JD for best of the week.
You know what? Okay, best of the week. Yeah, I'll take my Roman and give it to JD because he's a warrior. He finished it. He should. Yeah, you're right. We should give it to JD.
And it's also the fact that we might give it to Roman or Punk depending on the result of tonight. Anyway,
next week, right? Okay, that's fair.
Speaking of which, we got WWE Royal Rumble tonight, one of the biggest shows in wrestling of the year. We got 4 matches to give our predictions. Well, yes, the Big 4 stars the first premium live event of 2025 for WWE, and we got 4 big matches. First, for the WWE Tag Team Championships, best 2 out of 3 falls. DIY defend against the Motor City Machine Guns. What you got, Krssi?
I feel like DIY is gonna pull us off.
DIY. Yeah. I'm gonna go with. No, you know what? I'll be different. I'm gonna go with the Motor City Machine Guns.
So
even though this would make DIY turning heel fucking worthless, but
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go with the Machine Guns.
Okay.
Then we got the Women's Royal Rumble match, Miss Krssi Love. Already announced for the matchup: Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Ivy Now, Bailey, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Nia Jax, Lara Valkyria,
like this. What is happening?
The returning Charlotte Flair. or at least the person that they say is Charlotte Flair, because she looks nothing like her.
That's okay. So it's not just me, because I'm like, wait, who the fuck is that? It's like a mixture.
Who you got?
It's a mixture of that she looks like Carmella and somebody else. Okay. For the women, I'm going with Charlotte as our girl. Charlotte.
I think Charlotte Flair wins this year's Royal Rumble. I think they're setting
She's
up
won
Charlotte
before, right?
Yeah, first ever 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 5 years apart. I think that it sets up Charlotte and Tiffany, and then you have Bianca win the Chambers to face Rhea.
I'm with it. Okay.
Then we got the WWE Undisputed Championship up for grabs in a ladder match. Kevin Owens challenges Cody Rhodes. Great video package that they played on SmackDown last night.
Yeah.
Going with Cody.
Gosh. I know this is wrong, but I'm going to go with Kevin.
Wow. Okay.
You said wow.
And then finally,
all right,
we
who am I
got
fooling? No, Cody. Who am I fooling? Cody's winning. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I tried to be okay. I really tried.
30 seconds.
I couldn't. Because I know I'm just playing myself at this point in the game. We already know the Golden Boy is going to win, unfortunately. But yes, Cody's winning. I'm sorry. Continue your package, Brent. I apologize.
And then finally, it's the men's Royal Rumble matchup already announced for the match. Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, Seth freaking Rollins, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Chad Gable, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rey Mysterio, Damian Priest, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, and
so many more.
Of course, the big three, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. Who do you have winning the 2025 Royal Rumble?
I'll never bet against my tribal chief.
You're going with your tribal chief?
Put my ones up.
This was the last time I will say this, folks. Well, no, probably I'll be on the watch along tonight and I'll say it before the match starts. But the second to last time I will say this, folks. Final three, Seth, Punk, Roman. Roman eliminates Seth. Seth holds on to Roman's hand. Replay of 1992 Royal Rumble. Punk throws Roman over the top rope. Punk wins thanks to Seth Rollins, which helps 4 different characters in the matchup because Punk gets his WrestleMania title match, and the main event. Roman has a bigger issue with Punk because he eliminated him from the Rumble, but also continues his issue with Seth Rollins, who screwed him over. Seth can now go to Drew McIntyre and be like, well, I finally helped in stopping Roman Reigns get back to the top. I cost him the Royal Rumble. And Drew McIntyre can answer him back, but you helped CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, you fucking idiot. Yep. It helps 4 different people. It's the result that needs to happen. Punk needs to win, set everything up. Unless, if The Rock show up, then all bets are off. All bets are off. But
so we're in agreement that John Cena is not winning.
No, it would be way too easy for his story for him to just say, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble and I win the Royal Rumble. Ooh, cool.
Okay.
Right now, I'm good. I'm good on that. Let's do the chamber. Let's do you winning the chamber. But yes, I'm looking forward to that. I did say we were going to do our Royal Rumble lottery because we did hit our goal on AE Ramble. So I will be on early on tonight. I'll try to start our stream just before 6 o'clock so we could do the Royal Rumble lottery. I'll put it in the chat as well for our team, Krssi Love, because we're going to draw numbers randomly to see who has the winning number in the Royal Rumble. Maybe we'll make it a 50 cent or $1 bet, $1 entry to join. But I will give the information. We'll start the stream at about 5:50, 5:45, 10 minutes before the start of the show. And we'll do the Royal Rumble lottery before things get going on both the women's and men's Royal Rumble matches. So be here for our Royal Rumble watch along tonight. I want to thank Miss Krssi Love for joining me today. As always have fun when it's just us two talking about pro wrestling. So, Krssi Love, the floor is yours. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Friends, thank you again for joining us. Appreciate you all. You love to watch myself and SP rant, of course, of anything that pisses us off or, that we love. So we appreciate you. Thank you. But other than that, you can follow me, Krssi Love _1, Tru Heel Krssi Love, and just my plain name, Krssi Love _1. And that's it. I will probably be on the watch along with you guys later as well. To watch this and get this show started. You said around 6. I'll probably be around there like 6:15, depending on the time. But yeah. But yes, guys, thank you again, and I will see you all next week. SP.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. Go over there to patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. You can enjoy our TNA Genesis Way Too Late review that's going to be dropping later today. We'll also have that up for members as well. And we also got our year-end final list that's going to be dropping on Patreon in February as well. We got a couple of other extra comments to highlight here. I mean, V says my winners are Punk, Charlotte, DIY, and Cody. We also got Safed who says I pick Roman Reigns or CM Punk for the men's Royal Rumble. So keep letting us know your predictions for the Royal Rumble in the comments down below. If you want a proper full preview and predictions for the entire Royal Rumble card, go over and check out myself and Maggie on our Royal Rumble 2025 preview that's up right now. Go over and check that out, and check out all the great content we got on the channel, like AE Ramble, like Rated Raw Review, and everything else. For Krssi Love, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We will see you tonight for our Royal Rumble watch party. This has been Tru Heel Heat 314, the beast within the lawsuit. We are signing off until next time.
Laters.